Yes, people, we're live, man. Yo, the big shock in the World Cup, man. France got chased out of there, people. Can you hear me? France got absolutely chased out. France have got chased out. Absolutely bozos, mate. Spain came with a game plan. They had the shot in the 90th minute. They had their first shot in their 90th minute, people. In the 90th minute, they had the shot. Unbelievable. Can you hear me? Unbelievable, mate. Absolutely unbelievable. France got absolutely bullied. But big up the people, though. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, people. But big up to Spain, mate. Congratulations to Spain, mate. Big up to Lamine Yamal, man. He called it. He said we're the only team that can beat them. We're the only team that can beat them, man. We're the only team that can beat them. Absolute madness. I'm 2 minutes away from the house, people. This brother here, taxi driver, man, he's doing a great job, man, getting me there. Just been with Saeed on a super long, watch along. Listen, you know what, Troubles? I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link after when I get in. Big up, though, people. Smash the likes. Subscribe to the channel. But the breaking news is that France have been spanked. Spain, from minute 1 till the last minute, bullied France. Absolutely bullied France. Olise, stinker and hooked. France look like they've not slept for 2 days. It's like they were playing drunken football, mate. Drunken football. They couldn't connect. They could not connect. I've not seen a team bully France like that since last time they beat them in the Euros. Absolutely, France look basic. They look basic in every sense of the word. They look basic, France. They didn't know what they were doing. There was nobody connecting. Their fullbacks couldn't connect with the centre backs. Every ball was like 2 yards behind, 3 yards behind. It was just shocking. Spain, Spanish coach, Spanish players, take a bow. Take a bow. If you put another performance like that on and off the ball, you're going to win this World Cup. You're going to win this World Cup. This World Cup is going to be the second World Cup for Spain. My words. If they play like that in the final, they're going to do it again. Because who's going to open them up? Who's going to open them up? They absolutely shut down the space. They did an amazing mid-block. Rodri ran the games. Not just Rodri, though. The two fullbacks. Cucurella. All those people that said Cucurella's not that. Cucurella. Oh, my gosh. Take a bounce on. Straight down, brother. Straight down, straight down. Straight down, straight down. Sorry. It's straight down in front of that car over there. You know that car there? Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, brother. People. Nice one, brother. I appreciate you. Absolute love. Yo, shout out to my taxi driver, man. Shout out to the brother. Absolute kickboxing monster. Love. Yeah, man. Thank you, bro. Yes, people. We're out. Freedom. We're out, man. We're getting in the gas. Big up the people, man. Yo, somebody's called the ambulance, man, for Mbappe and co. Somebody's called. Nice one. I'm telling you, even the little dog is having a go at me. I think he might be supporting France. Is that a French poodle? Yes, people. We're back, people. Come on, smash the likes, man. I'm in shock, mate. Spain have shook the world, mate. Spain have shocked the world. They have shocked the world, mate. Incredibly. Magnifique. I'm telling you, they've shocked the world. Let me just add Ben to the stage. Yo, you love Spain. He's got the shades out. He wanted Spain to win. Look at man like Ben. Ben, talk to me. Talk to me, Ben.
There's another reason I have shades on, man.
Go on. There's another reason why he's got shades on. Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Yeah. Big up to yourself, man. Big up to the chat, man. Free Palestine. Free everyone that's oppressed around the world, man. First things first, congratulations to my second home in Spain. I love I absolutely love Spain, man. Just everything they represent, the people, football, just everything, man. They're just class, man. Like, they just, you know, if tonight didn't show that there is still an ounce of football left in this world, I think Spain showed it tonight, man. Like, very compact, three-man midfield, just outstanding. Like, they couldn't even sniff their midfield. France, and that's a surprise because I actually think France have a really good midfield. Obviously, with too many, I think he played well tonight. But Rodri and Ruiz and Danny Olmo, them three just ran the show, man, tonight. And Lucas Digne was just getting cooked left, right, and center, man. But yeah, look, congratulations to Spain, man. I just want Spain to win, not only because obviously with what I've just said, but Trump, Donald Trump, people. If there's one country he hates in this world, yeah, obviously it's Iran, it's Palestine, it's Congo, it's Sudan, it's all these countries that are oppressed by Zionists. But he hates the Spanish. He fucking hates the Spanish because the one thing that Spain did, and I always give massive props to Spain, is that when Trump came to the country of Spain and asked for weapons, asked to use their military bases, Spain said no. Fuck off, Trump. Fuck off. You go and do your own. You go and do your own what you and Netanyahu are doing to Gaza and to Iran. We're just gonna say no. You're not using our military stuff, and that's it. And that's what really makes me happy because not only that, it's because it's in his hometown. It's in the United States of America, in his hometown, and to see Spain win the World Cup would just be beautiful in my eyes, man. And he's just kicked me from the thing. I've just been kicked. I've just Nerd has seen enough. He's We're back, people. We're back. We're back. Anyways, yeah, big up, Nerd, and big up.
Sorry, man. I don't know what happened there, bro.
You're all good,
People,
but man,
smash the likes, man. Smash the likes, man.
big up,
Smash
man.
the
Big
likes.
up.
We're back.
Big
We're
up,
back.
man.
We're back with a bang, people. If you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Big up, man.
We're
But
back with
honestly,
a bang.
bro, on a real man, like, to see Donald Trump have one of his worst countries in one of his worst countries in the world, in Spain and Iran and Palestine, it just makes me so happy. Not only obviously because Spain, I love the people of Spain, I love it, I love everything they represent, man. But just to see Trump suffer and like that they have to lift the trophy of the World Cup trophy at his home ground. And yes, the big one is I've got two big arch enemies alongside me. I've got Argentina, who are Zionist pieces of shit. They are a Zionist country. Most of them, obviously, there's some people in Argentina that aren't Zionists.
There's a lot of Argentinians.
But there's still a lot in that. There's a brave majority of that country, nerd. It is Zionist. It is. Oh, I can hear myself. Anyways, but it's that or England. And I'll be honest with you, I just do not want to be waking up next day and seeing England win the World Cup, man, because you're just never gonna hear it, man. And look, obviously, people know. I know there's a lot of English fans around the world, man, and they want to win. They want England to win, man. But honestly, it's just a love-hate relationship with them. The only team I'll ever, the only like English team I'll ever support is cricket. Obviously, everyone know a lot of people what they think about cricket, man. But that's the only time I'll ever support England, man. I'll never support England in any other sport. Obviously outside of Man United, I'm saying, because obviously Manchester is in England, like, but nah, that's just my thoughts, man. And obviously, people would probably be the exact same if it comes to like the likes of rugby, darts, or golf or whatever, man. Like, it is what it is, bro. But look, that's just my 2 pence, anyways. But big up, congratulations to Spain. They were so compact. This is the reason why, people. This is the reason why, and I'll stress it out to the back. The three-man midfield wins you big, big, big trophies, and it controls games. What they've just done, and I've said it to you, people, Fabian Ruiz is an outstanding midfielder. Yes, he might have had an off midfielder, but him and Rodri keep balance. There's a balance. There's defensive stability in there. There's one player who can cover the distance, and there's one player who can cover the ball, and like obviously he can progress with the ball in Rodri. But Fabian Ruiz is class. Rodri, obviously, it's just a breath of fresh air to see Rodri play for Spain, man. Yeah, obviously he's a Manchester City man, so fuck him for Manchester City man. But honestly, it's just class, bro. Seeing Rodri play and seeing Fabio Ruiz play, it's it does bring me back. Not as good, obviously, as Iniesta and Xavi, because they're still on Busquets, because they're still my favorite midfield three ever. Like there's nothing. I just don't think there's anyone better than that midfield three. But it just brought back a lot of memories, man. And I'm just so super super glad. I'm so happy for Spain, bro. I think they deserve it as well, Nerd. I think we can all agree they did deserve it. Yamal was
Facts.
cooking Lucas Digne, cooking him properly, cooking him, bro. And it was just amazing, bro. I'm just so happy for Spain. And yeah, we move on, and hopefully now. A few people were asking me, saying, "Ben, we've got a decision to make. Do we want the English to beat the Zionists, or do we want the Argentina to beat England?" Man, I don't know, man. I'm all over the show, bro. If it was a different country, if it was, say, Brazil, or if it was any other country, I would have preferred that country over in England, because obviously England and I still have a hate relationship with them. But look, let's see. I do think England will win against Argentina. I do think they've got better quality, but let's see. Tuchel's tactics.
No, you can't bet against
questionable.
Messi. Can't bet against Messi. Man.
I know, man. I know.
Messi. People smash the likes. I want to bring Cameron in, but big up to Adewale. Adewale said Deschamps is a shit coach. Went way too attacking. Lineup should have been Mbappe, Dembele, Emery in midfield. Spain always have an extra body in midfield.
Facts.
And control the game. Yes, facts. Three man. What we talk about it? Three player midfield, man. Ben always talks about it. Ben
I always said it. I said it
shades.
every time. No, there's another. I'll let Cameron come in, but there's another reason, people, why I'm wearing shades. There's another reason. But carry on, Cameron.
Big up, Cameron. How you doing, Cam? You good?
How's it going, mate?
Have Spain shocked the world?
No, I tell you what shocked me, Nuruddin. I remember we were talking about transfers a while ago, and I said, "How about Guimaraes for United?" And you go, "No, he's too old. We're going young." And then you guys have got Tielemans. You've got the.
No. Listen, out of the midfielders that you were going to get from Newcastle, I said I'll take Bruno Guimaraes.
Yeah,
I have been saying that.
But you were very convinced you guys would be going long-term project. Young
players.
Because
that's what the Glazers and Ineos have been saying, Pete, bro. That's what they've been saying. That's what they've been selling us. But talk to me. What did you think about the game? I'm in shock, people. I am in shock.
Yeah, I thought it was just interesting. Like somebody put there about
I'm in shock.
Their France's midfield. Like you could have these amazing front four attackers, but if you can't get them the ball. The lack of flexibility, and they didn't change anything for the whole game. It kind of killed the game actually a little bit for me.
Adewale just said it, to be fair. Emery, they should have matched them in midfield, won the midfield battle, and then your front three can take care of business. 100%.
Exactly. Yeah, they kept pressing high. Spain did, and then France's backline couldn't get out of the high press. I think once Saliba went out, you saw the difference in quality between him and
Leclerc. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not.
If Chelsea
Saliba's
get him
levels on the ball, Saliba's a better player on the ball. But I think even with Saliba, I think they would have struggled. I'm not.
He's not that good. Yeah, he can do all right, but he's not that good on the ball.
Yeah. Spain shocked the world, man. Spain shocked the world, mate.
Yeah, and I think. When I watched France, I was watching Digne get ripped to shreds, and I just kept thinking the fact that him and Rabiot, it reminds me of United with Shaw and Maguire. Like, why these two guys?
To be fair, Rabiot was their best player in the first half. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
Sure,
he
but like, but I don't know. I feel in
the first half, he was their best player. He was their best player in the first half.
I think he's just negative. Give Shirky a chance. Give somebody a chance to make something happen, because
that would have been too. I think Emery should have played. Emery will give you quality, but he also do a lot of work off the ball. 100%. He would have done lots of work off the ball.
I think Spain are not invincible.
Yeah. Nah, I think honestly they've only conceded one goal in the tournament, bro. Say what you want about them, they shut people down. Even though I did think Belgium opened them up at times, but they just couldn't get the final pass right.
Yeah, they just hold us the ball so well, don't they? They're the ball retention, possession. They do miss a genuine goal threat. Like what we used to throughout the years. David Villas and all these guys. Like they've not got a number 9 out and out goal scorer, but they just make do. Like they've got Dani Olmo, that Baena. He pops in. The Ozzyarbol, like he's popping at all these goals. So.
I think Yeah, I think as well. Like before Ruben Amorim got sacked and before Ten Hag got sacked, I was actually saying to people in the chat saying we should really consider hiring I can't pronounce his name. The Spanish coach, the Spanish manager.
De La Fuente.
His philosophy is just so fucking good, man. It's literally like, I've been watching Spain all these years, man, and like his philosophy when it comes to the midfield and to the wingers as well and to the fullbacks is just second to fucking none, man. And I think that's one of obviously I've said about Eddie Howe with the whole 3-man midfield, but if it wasn't really Eddie Howe that really stood out to me with the whole 3-man midfield, it was him. He actually got me to think, hang on, these lot play with a number. They play with Danny Almo, or sometimes that, or I can't really pronounce his name. He was playing tonight, the striker. He sometimes plays in a 10, but what he does, he sits back and it comes in a 3-man midfield. They actually even said it tonight in the commentary. Gary Neville said it tonight. Hate Gary Neville, anyways, but he said it. He says the reason why it's so difficult for France to break through the lines is because they're so compact, they're so tight together. When they drift on one side, they all drift together. It's not like the number 10 just presses up high and leaves the other two sitting. This is what I'm trying to say. I just think in this modern day right now, you simply cannot win. And people are going to say about Arsenal. To me, Odegaard is not a number 10 in my eyes. He can do the dirty work off the ball.
He's a number 8.
Yeah. He's 100% number 8. I've seen him do the dirty work off the ball. They're so compact. And this is what I'm trying to say with Spain, man. It's just the reason why Spain are so far into this competition. Yeah, obviously, they haven't got that number 9. That's the biggest thing they're missing. I remember David Villa. I remember, the likes of David Silva. They had who else did they fucking have? You get the gist anyways. But bro, the reason why they're in this position is because of the midfield. And it's because of the defense as well. It's nothing to do with their attackers. Yeah, some of their attackers has played well. Yamal's done hit well here and there. I can't remember the left winger name again, but it's the midfield. The midfield is literally helping them, and if that doesn't prove that 3-man midfield doesn't get you over the line, and I don't know what will. And I'm not pinpointing you on Cameron because obviously you lot play with a 3-man midfield, but this Man United fan base need to get a fucking grip. You cannot win with a number 10, bro. And I can't even give you a team that has won a league in the past 3 or 4 years with a number 10. I seriously can't, because I just think that Fergie's like time. Obviously, I remember Fergie. Everyone always said that Roy Keane and Carrick were double pivot. Roy Keane's schools were a double pivot. But the thing is with Fergie's system, yeah, it was a 4-4-2, but they always had either Wayne Rooney, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, or who else? Dwight York, Cole. One of them always comes back and helps out the midfield, and that's why Fergie's philosophy just worked out so fucking well. Because if you're getting run over by the front two, I remember David Beckham and Ryan Giggs especially. When Beckham was so high up the pitch, Giggs would Nerdin will tell you, Giggs would actually come into the midfield and help out the midfield. That's how you go. You solidify the midfield. And I've said this. Nerdin keeps Nerdin's always seen me every fucking year. The one word I always keep mentioning on this channel is 3-man midfield, 3-man midfield, 3-man midfield. Why can we not do it? And there's just apparently Man United's philosophy is a double pivot, and it has been a double pivot since Fergie left, and that's it. But yeah,
you guys are hostage by a guy who's got the assist record, Mr. Statpad himself. The best thing that would happen for United if you got injured, because then you guys could experiment.
I don't want
to wish it. I would never wish
Cameron,
injury.
come on now, calm down, Cameron.
No. But you know what I'm saying?
Cameron. You can't be an Arsenal fan on this channel wishing injury on our captain, man. Chill out. Let me just get this big up V33 says, now give us Kone Bumba and medical tomorrow. Listen, people, smash the likes. Let's go, people. Let's get to 200 likes ASAP. Go ahead, Cameron. Finish your point. I've cut you off.
I'm just saying, what would happen if we're in a parallel universe and Bruno doesn't exist? What do United do this season? I'm just curious. What would it look like?
We've got the Ballon d'Or, potential Ballon d'Or winning Tillemans now. the way some of our fans have been moving, bro. He's a good player.
You want to hear this crazy?
Telling me this is what this is.
Listen,
you can't judge. Listen, I was on Saeed's watch along. Yeah, you can't judge Kone of one game. You can't buy a player of one game, and you can't judge a player of one game. Big up, man. Big up to everybody. Go ahead, bro. Carry on, Cameron. And then Ben's gonna reveal. If we get to 100 likes, Ben's gonna reveal. Sooner we get to 100 likes, why he's wearing the shades. Let's go, people.
I like that.
So Tielemans at age 29 has played more minutes than Scholes did at 38.
Say that again.
Tielemans at age 29 has played more minutes than Scholes did at age 38.
Because he started his career at 16 or 15 when
and Anderlecht. But still, man.
He was like 17, I think. 17 or nearly 18.
No,
I remember watching him. I remember watching him at Old Trafford. He came with his Anderlecht and he was the captain.
We had him in the Champions
experience.
League.
He's got leadership qualities. But when somebody gets past him, is he catching them?
Yeah,
we'll have to decide. We'll have to wait and decide.
Yeah.
But if Bruno was to get injured, we got Tielemans. So Tielemans will be the playmaker.
And Santos, right? That's done deal.
Yeah, Santos done deal. He's already trained already. Had his first training session.
There you go. Yeah, you guys meet. Hey, look, I can't.
Listen, like I said to you, Bola, I can never judge. You know, I'm a bit suspicious of the injury record and the types of injury he gets. But Tielemans, we signed Tielemans, and Tielemans is injured right now. Tielemans didn't play in the game against Spain because he was injured. So it is what it is, bro. Go ahead. Listen, can England do it? Is he coming home, Cameron? Is it? He's coming
home. Honestly, probably not. I don't know.
Favorite song, mate. Tuchel, you're the one.
Hey, I think Tuchel's done himself justice.
Coming home, mate. Ben's favorite song, mate. Ben's gonna sing that. He's gonna reveal. If you get to 150 likes, Ben's gonna sing that song and he's gonna reveal why he's wearing shades. But go ahead, Cameron.
Yeah, no, smash the like button, people. Yeah, get the likes going. Come on, we need to see this. No, I don't know. I think Argentina. I think it'll be a good game. I think you're not going to get a better chance to get to the final. But are England going to beat this Spain team? Not a prayer. Not a prayer. I don't think it's even remotely close. But yeah, no. What do you think, Nuruddin? You think they've got a chance?
Can England get revenge if England beats Argentina tomorrow? And that's a big if, by the way. Argentina, even though listen, I've got something to show you. Let me show the people something. The video that's going viral the most. I can't wait to share this with you guys. This is one of the funniest videos I have ever seen in my life. Watch this. Watch this.
Getting it forward. It's Zico. It's 2-0. And the shot is on. Argentina's grip on the World Cup.
Tecnologia.
That's class.
Did you guys see the free kick today where they used VAR to overturn it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
They're just making up as they go along. Yeah,
of course. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man. Check that out on the X, man. But yeah, honestly, Cameron, it's crazy. Who else is coming in here? Air fans about better watch out. Spain have shocked the world. France got absolutely bullied from pillar to post. Cucurella shithousery buying. I think Cucurella was man of the match, me personally. I think Cucurella was. He had an early yellow card.
Yeah,
he had an early yellow card, and that didn't stop him.
I know. He was pumped. He was pumped. He was really up for it. In fact, he was one of the few players that looked in the whole of the game, looked really up for it. He was like, of all the players I saw, he was like fired up to win. You saw him, I didn't see anybody in France have that fight and desire that he had, regardless of whether you're individual or you're part of the team.
Irfan, they look like they've been drinking for 2 days. They've been on a bender for a whole 3 days.
But that's
French team looked like they were drunk.
But
even the basic, they couldn't make like 3-yard pass.
Yeah.
When it was time to cross, they were shooting. When it was time to shoot, they were crossing. It was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
I mean,
just did not function at all. The midfield as well.
Yeah.
When you play 3 against 2, Emery's got legs to get around that football pitch, Irfan. He's got the legs to get around that football pitch.
Yeah.
He didn't play 3, and to me, starting Barcola was the dopiest. You're not going to get space against Spain. They're going to double up.
I know. It's crazy. So they lost in the midfield. They lost in terms of what the wing backs offered. It was just they nullified him and they made him look like I don't even know what to say. That did not look like the France team before. But like I said, it wasn't just positional. It was also individuals who didn't show up. Individuals who, I don't know whether, I hate using that word, the French arrogance. I hate saying it. But, when you got Mbappe, I can't help it because he's the leader of the team. And they got through with moments of individualism and they've got incredible individuals. But look at Elise. Did you see Elise in this game?
Awful.
Man, he looked completely lost.
Stinker unhooked.
Yeah, he's no good centrally. He's not got that enough. He's not got that now.
But even out wide, he looked lackadaisical. Couldn't even control the ball.
He didn't look bothered.
They couldn't even control the ball was bubbling. No, even 1-on-1, Kukurea bullied him. He tried to come inside him and take him on. Bullied. Get off.
No. But that's also desire.
I'm not gonna lie to you. We have to give it up for Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal said, "We know how to beat them. They've not beaten us. We know how to beat them."
Yeah, and he was right. I mean, to be honest, it was a bit of a no game, to tell you the truth. It was actually almost a little bit like a walk in the park. It really was. It was shocking that for the neutral. I mean, I wanted Spain to win, so I'm happy. I wanted them to win. I like them because they're a team. They're a team. They're not fucking individuals. They're a team. That's what I love about them. And like I said, the fact that Olathabo
going to the final and only having conceded 1 goal in the whole tournament.
Well, look, they just like I said, for me, they're just a very likable team. When you watch them, I know they pass you to death still. I wish they had like a Haaland up top or somebody like that, but it doesn't matter. They don't need him. They can still win. I mean, to be honest with you. What was Luca Digne do? What the fuck was he doing when he didn't wasn't looking at the ball and just kicked? What? I just looked at that and think, in the semi-final of the World Cup, what the fuck is wrong with you? I would have punched him in the face. It was me. I probably would have got sent off or whatever. But I could not. You cannot go behind against this team. You just can't go behind. You cannot. I mean, look what they do. And then it was a bit of a stroll because they couldn't chase the game. They were not allowed to chase the game. So okay, every angle, and again, they just passed you to death. I don't rate France's midfield. And like I said, people talk about Manu Kone and Tchouameni. Thank God. I'm glad we're not getting Tchouameni, and I hope we don't get Kone either. Sorry, guys. I'm not having it. Not for the Premier League. No chance. No chance. I'm sorry to say, no way. No way. Like I said, it's just they could have turned. Nobody turned up. Nobody was there. Imagine being a French supporter watching that game. Imagine being a French supporter. I don't think that talent. Your knuckles will be broken punching the wall. Seriously.
Yeah. You got all that talent. I think it's just such a bad decision to play Barcola. Yeah. You need to have a free midfield. Yeah, unbelievable.
No, but look at Doué. Did Doué
Irfan, that's where they're strongest. Irfan, that's where they're strongest. You need to match them in midfield, and they didn't match them in midfield.
Yeah. No, but
that's the Irfan. Zemery. If I'm not
mistaken. Sarah Emery. Yeah.
Sarah Emery. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Big up Jarvis.
I like what they should have done, right? Instead of playing fucking Rabiot, right?
What they should have done. In the first time.
Rabiot was their best midfielder, though. At least he was.
I thought that yellow card was unjust.
It was hard.
Yeah, well, they should have.
I don't rate the guy, but he was at least he was their best midfielder. I don't rate him, but he was their best midfielder. At least he was going for it. At least he looked up for it. The other two guys, I mean, I don't know. Tchouameni looks comatose to me. I'm sorry to be so rude, but he looks like someone's giving him some sleeping drugs or something.
Majority of their players were like that. Majority of the players were like that.
What, did they think they were going to stroll it? Is that what it is? Did they think they were going to stroll it?
I don't know, Irfan. But in terms of tactically, on and off the ball, oh my God.
Oh, he's toothless. Yeah.
You know, I always said, Nuruddin, I've said to any...
No,
you know,
listen, F, you need to calm down. First of all, there's a rule in football. Never judge a player of
Yes.
one game and
Yeah,
never
of course.
overhype a player of one game. You have
Who
to
did
have
I-
a
who did I do
longer,
that to?
a
Who did I do
larger
that to?
sample of data to be able to go, this is a player that can play for this. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into Manchester United. Let's get into it. We signed Tillemans. Give me your 2 pence on Tillemans. We still not got 100 likes.
Yeah.
Still
Well,
not got 100
Nuruddin,
likes.
look, Nuruddin, I don't know what the other guys got to say. Look, you know, we started off, I don't know. I mean, you called it.
Big
all
up
the smart-
people from
all the-
Simbad from Pakistan. Big up.
Oh, Zindabad, Pakistan. That
Zindabad,
means live long, Pakistan. Right?
Sindabad, yes. Sindabad.
Zindabad, yeah. So look,
Sindabad Imran Khan.
Zindabad, Pakistan. Zindabad, I'd say to Spain as
Imran.
well. Let's hope they win. Let's hope they win. So look, the thing is, Nuruddin, look, all our clown supporters. Well, you didn't. I mean, obviously the people on channel didn't. They knew we weren't going to get Elliot Anderson, but for some reason, our clown fan base thought these guys were going to spend 100 million on a player. I just laughed and said, "You guys are. I don't know what you're smoking, right?" But they get giddy. You always talk about Nuruddin getting so giddy. So once they'd gone, right, and then Spurs thought we can't finish whatever fourth from bottom, 2 years on the trot. We got to splash the cash, okay? So they came in and pulled the rug from under our feet with Mateus Fernandes and possibly Tonali, but I don't think we would have got Tonali. We may have got Mateus Fernandes. So then
They were never going to spend 100 million on any player, regardless whether it's Anderson,
I know what you're saying.
whether it's Tonali, whatever. Yeah.
But they were on the list on Nuruddin. They were on the list of potentials. They were, above the two guys we got.
Yeah. So the fan base stopped buying the shirts.
They
they released the shirt at the end of last season. If you don't remember.
Yeah, of course.
People buy the shirts.
Yeah, of course they do. But I'm saying to you, and I know, we're thinking, okay, does the creative director, and the senior executives, do they make a decision on purely football, or are they looking at what the fans are thinking who we should buy? What are we thinking? It's a bit of both. It's not just like straight away. There is obviously, they're thinking about what they want to read the music of the fans, whether we like it or not. And obviously they wanted Tonali, they wanted Anderson. Obviously, look, we have a big fan of Tonali.
Can you just wait there 1 second? I need to show you this. Wait there 1 second. I want to make you laugh.
Oh yeah, that's video.
Oh no, I saw it, Nuruddin. I saw it.
Just for the people who join us, let me just replay.
This is the funniest thing, honestly. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe when I saw this.
Egypt against Argentina.
Hang on, is it AI though? Is it AI?
No, it's kids. No, it's real.
Oh, it's very clever. You got to give it to them. You always set this up. What is it, Indonesia or somewhere? Where is
Indonesia,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say. Wow, look at that. The acting is amazing. They've got to give it some Oscar level. This is seriously. The acting is brilliant. Oh my god, that cheered me up when I saw that today. That was a big cheer.
Even the kids are in on it. Even the kids are in on it.
Wow. Well, look, look. Jokes aside, though. So we're thinking. I'm thinking, okay. So if these two guys, Tonali and Anderson's gone, and Mateus Fernandes gone, who the hell are we going to buy? Who the hell? And then out of nowhere, we buy this Strasbourg Chelsea guy. Out of nowhere, we're like, are we back to Cheapskate FC again? Is that where we come back again?
Bargains, mate. Batesman Bargain FC.
Yeah,
Bargain FC.
That's what we were. That's what we were, because prior to the signing, everyone was going mad when Anderson had signed, Tonali had signed, and so was Messi. Let's face it, everyone's going crazy. Every football channel I looked at, they're all going crazy. So the fans were pissed off. So obviously they had to react, right? And then they get. I mean, I don't mind this signing as a curveball. I call it a curveball. So I don't really mind it. I don't. As if you're going to buy 3 midfielders, buying Santos as the unknown, or known if you're a strategist, analyst, you're a football director, etc. I didn't mind that one. I looked at him and thought, okay, he's still young. Let's see what he's got. At least he's played in the Premier League before, and he apparently played very well for Strasbourg. But the Tillemans one, I was like, here we go, shit. Oh my god. Now listen, like you guys, I won't lie, I'm not the biggest fan. I know he can do a job. I know he's an okay player. I like the fact he's older, but I've never really rated this guy. I think he had potential, but in United, I would have gone for a Sander Berg or something. I would have gone for, let's get the fucking ball breaking, Guy's going to run all day long. The midfield, the general that's going to make sure nothing gets past him. So Cobby can do his job. And then we can have another guy that can be take the on a half turn and move the ball along. I think we should have got that midfield destroyer first rather than Tielemans. But obviously, looking at the reaction of all the other fans talking about us Tielemans, they think we bought like this amazing player. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a good player, and it is a good cheap buy. But I don't think it's what we needed really. But again, it's another bargain basement buy. So what do you want me to say? It's not what I would have bought. Most of the fan base, Nuruddin, they're giddy because they got Tielemans. They're very giddy, yeah, they are. But like I said, I've never been
listen. First of all, he's a good player. That's what you're gonna. He's very good. Listen, he's a deep line playmaker. Yeah. He's going to get Manchester United out. He's going to switch the play to the wingers, to the wide people. He's going to engage. He's going to have shots. He's good on the set pieces. Yeah. He's good at that. The Irfan one.
But hang on. All right, hang on. Before you
off
say
the ball, Irfan.
Nuruddin,
Let me finish. Off the ball, if Manchester United do not play in a very structured way where everybody knows what they're doing, he's going to get walked past. Not ran past. Walk past. I'm looking at the camera. He's gonna get walked past.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like Maguire does.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, he was on nobody's radar prior to the signing. No United.
And they didn't have to negotiate for him. He said they just met the 35 million.
That's it.
But they give him 5-year contract.
Yeah,
because
we're still cheapskate FC. We're still cheapskate FC.
5-year contract.
It revealed with cheapskate. That's what I mean. It should have been 2 or 3 maximum. It should have been that. Look, who's going to buy him after us? No one's going to take him after. He's going to have to retire after this. He ain't going nowhere.
Listen, let me just say this, Jarvis. He's not good enough to lace
Paul Scholes.
One.
Come on, stop it. Stop it. Come on.
Jarvis, this is rage bait.
Jarvis is throwing a few hand grenades on the chat today. That's what in the channel. That's what he's doing. Yeah. Come on.
Maybe I'm going to do that as a poll. Maybe that's the poll question.
You have to admit, Nuruddin, Rodri has been rock solid in this World Cup. He didn't show that form for City. In this World Cup, I think he's been absolutely on top form. He really has. Behind the scenes, running everything, making sure everything's there, sweeping up everything, keeping the ball moving. He typifies the Spanish team. I'd love a guy like that.
But it's because of Fabian Ruiz, Irfan. Yeah. He's got someone beside him who he can trust. He can cover the ground. It's like I said, defensive stability. Just like I actually do think people are going to say Elliot Anderson and Rodri aren't going to work. They're gonna work so fucking well because both of them can do the dirty work off the ball. It's actually going to be scary, people. You watch Nottingham Forest, like they play a double pivot. Bro, the guy just, when you ask Elliot Anderson, what did you prefer doing at Nottingham Forest? Were you more of an attacking player or were you more of a defender? Like you were more worried about the defense, he says. Bit of both, but usually the defense at this moment because obviously Nottingham Forest were struggling. And that's what you want to hear. Like, that's what Rodri wants to hear. So it actually allows Rodri to go up the pitch. It allows Elliot Anderson to go up the pitch. It's just, it's combining, it's complementing each other. And it's like I said, to me right now, like, I mean, it'd be a madness if they don't work out, bro. But honestly, I actually do think we're on to a fucking serious double pivot here in Elliot Anderson and Rodri. Now, with Zubimendi and Rice, I knew instantly that wasn't going to work out because the thing was Zubimendi, he doesn't have the pace and he doesn't have the physicality to cope with Arsenal's midfield. And we've seen that. Obviously, Cameron, you would probably agree with me because obviously Zubimendi, he's been sitting on the bench for quite some time. And I actually do believe that when Rice had someone else beside him, it actually allowed Rice to actually, have more faith in the double pivot or the 3-man midfield. And I just think, what he called, we're onto something big here with Anderson and Rodri here. That's just my opinion, though. I'll be shocked, though. I will be completely shocked if Rodri and Anderson don't work out. I'll be so shocked. So shocked.
Guaranteed Rodri will be there. I think he might go. I think he might go to Madrid.
You know what? That's actually a good shout because City are also in for the Moroccan Bouhaddi. Is it Bouhaddi?
Yeah, they are. That was
100 million.
Yeah, that could be.
Like I said, we don't know with City because, like I said, to me, not only was obviously a master tactician Guardiola, but obviously he was the arm around the shoulder. He was like a man-to-man, like amazing coach as well. So I don't know whether Maresca's going to bring that. You know, it's going to be interesting to see if he can get those top players to play for him like Guardiola did. I think that's going to be interesting to see. But they are buying. They are you know, not messing around. They do think probably Rodri's finished now. He's probably got maybe a year left. He's not the same guy he was before the injury. So it'd be interesting. But look, you know, again, they're still buying properly. They're still doing everything properly. They're embarrassing us. And our
you say properly, but I think there should be an asterisk on that. Properly, they signed Nico Gonzalez for 70 million, and they're already replacing him. It's the kind of spending that you see that we find it, we like normalize it, but it's doping. It's financial doping.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Hang on, when we were the kings in the 90s, etc. You know, we also wasted money, but we were spending it like there was no tomorrow.
Because that's what winners do.
That's what winners do.
It's self-generated. Yeah, 100% fine. That's totally fine. But going and spending money when you have it and you made it, totally no arguments. Going when it's when you're a state-backed club, and also I don't ever recall you guys ever buying somebody for some kind of record fee. Maybe it not quite working out. Maybe it's tactically. Maybe there's something going on, and just giving up, saying no, right, he's no good. That's what Pep's done. For all the people giving plaudits, no one's been so wasteful on players. Look what he's done to Marmoush and all these guys. These guys were top ballers before they went there.
But that's because when you have an unlimited amount of money, you actually can start behaving like that.
Yes.
You can start thinking,
Yes.
don't worry about it. Don't worry, we'll get the next one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like properly.
Let's imagine if we did that or Arsenal did that. I don't think our fans would complain. I don't think the fans are complaining.
I think we would.
I'm talking about it's ultra capitalism. This is what the system does. You know, when you got that kind of revenue, you're going to do it. You're going to behave this way. A lot of this, sorry to say, is envy and the fact that they haven't been caught yet. They haven't been caught into court. It's fun envy. I have to admit.
I'm the same. No, for people like we got the Kroenke investment at Arsenal now, and they start to throw money in it now because they've got full ownership of the club. Now they start to throw money. I get uncomfortable with it. I don't like it. I like us to spend frugally, correctly. What have we earned? What are we making? What are we selling? Because we're the worst selling club in the world. We just sold Crossbar to Besiktas for.
I would say that, Cameron. I would say that.
No, but hang on. But you spent 6 years trying to climb Everest. And you kept falling down just before you got to the summit, and you finally did it.
Yeah, exactly.
No one cares anymore. No one cares how many players have failed, how many times Arteta messed up. He did it.
Facts.
In the end. That's just how it works.
And just add as well, like, you Cameron, you said that it's a Gonzalez replacement. Technically speaking, it's sort of not, because I remember when Fergie back in the day, you had Carrick, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes in the wing. You had Nani, Ronaldo, Ryan Giggs. You had depth there. So not only are they buying players for the sake of it, they're buying competition. They're buying Lancy Boadi. Boadi's an actual smart signing, not because it's a risk. Obviously, it is a risk, 100%. But Boadi's going to come in and say if Rodri is staying, you're going to learn off probably one of the best midfielders in the last decade. And Rodri.
But Ben, can I just say this? Can I just say this?
But it's a perfectly run for
Lille want him. They want him loan back. They want him loan back. Big up Rance for
they do want him loan back.
No, hang on, Ben.
The Man City spending is like Real Madrid's. It's the Real Madrid level of spending. That's what it is.
Exactly.
It's the Real Madrid type football.
They've got Calvin Phillips and Jack Grealish still on their club, on their books. That's all I'll say. They got those two players.
Jack Grealish. We'll forget about that. Like,
I want to hear. Listen.
Look at the wins. Look at the wins in the last 7 years, 8 years. Who cares if Grealish is there? They work out. If you can't do it for us, we'll see you later. We don't care if we spent 200 million. See you later. Goodbye. If you're not producing the goods,
listen, people.
You got to
We're looking for 250 likes. We're looking for 250 likes. I just want to welcome my brother Lowani. Malawan Lowani to the table.
Yes, Lowani.
Lowani, the French boys got absolutely bullied. They got absolutely bullied. Cucurella, Rodri, Fabian Luiz ran the show. Elmo dropping in, making it a three-man midfield. Spain didn't play spectacular. I don't want people to get it twisted.
No, they didn't. But they didn't need to.
They didn't. France were just, they had their shot in 90th minute. But I want to come to that bit later. Luani, give me your first impressions of the signing of Tielemans.
The signing of good evening, everybody.
I hope the kids are good.
Big up. Yeah. Kids are good. Everybody good. Thanks. So for the signing of Tielemans, I was quite surprised But when you look at that in retrospect, we can talk about what the player is, right? Tielemans is a fantastic passer of the ball, probably one of the best passers of the ball in the Premier League. And then, of course, what he brings to the team in terms of his quality, our team will address certain aspect of our need and certain aspect will not be addressed. What do we address by signing Tielemans? We bring in an experienced player, a leader, and his ability on the ball. So we raise the technical floor of our team in terms of progressing the ball. There is also the fact that we signed him for I think 35 million, so that brings good value. That still help balance our book in terms of not we stay loyal to that policy of not signing on a big contract or not signing for a big transfer fee. And then there's also addressing the depth of the squad. We know we're going to have a lot of game, and then by signing him, yes, on the progressive side of the ball, he looks similar in profile to the other passers that we have. Bruno is a passer. The guy we signed for Chelsea, my guy, is also a passer. But in
But he's not that. He's not a long distance passing. He's not a diag passing. He's not 50 yards passer. He's not a 50. Santos is more of a connector. He's not 30 yards. 50 yards.
He's a short pass guy. He's a short pass guy. He is.
Yeah. I'm just talking in general term of progressing the ball. Whether we can talk about different profile of passes, is still in the sense of progressing the ball. We issue the rotation issue now in terms of what he doesn't what we don't address for the team by his signing. We still maybe lack physicality in that term, if I can say. Physicality is a buzzword because we just saw tonight what Spain did to France. So we still need a little bit of that athleticism in the field, because let's not forget we're talking about the Premier League here, and teams are very proficient in playing with more physical players, players that can break you down and all that. So yes, Tielemans at 29, he's going north of his prime. He's still a very good footballer, but north of his prime now when it comes to physicality. But I'm pretty sure when it comes to specifically physicality, those can also be addressed in different manners. It's not necessarily by signing a big physical players. So maybe Carrick has an idea of how he's going to play his midfield. And let's not forget, when we're talking about physicality, we nearly talking about recovery of the ball. And recovery in football, there is always a correlation between recovering the ball or keeping possession, recovering the ball and progressing the ball. So if you don't lose the ball, you won't have to fight to recover it. So maybe
Okay, Luani. So do Manchester United have fullbacks and do Manchester United have forwards that make the ball stick for 90 minutes in the Premier League, game in, game out? No, we don't. I'll answer my own question. No, we don't. Exactly.
No, we
so
don't.
when he loses the ball,
but is a transfer?
When he loses the ball, the ball in the middle and he gets walk past and dog walked, when somebody like dog throws the leash on the floor, and when he got the likes of Maguire, who can also be dog walked, and people walk past him, what's going to happen?
That is a very good observation. So my question to that is, the transfer window, is it finished? No, it's not finished. There's not a certain particular order in which we have to sign the player. It's all about opportunity. It's all about value. Maybe he's signing. Okay, so we can wait on that and see what's going to happen. If the transfer window closed today, I would say that it's a bit underwhelming in terms of the profile we have. We look like we're doing an overkill in progressing the ball, and we're not signing enough players on the defensive side of the game. But the transfer window is still open, so we'll see.
Let's get these super chats. Blank says, how did Tielemans pass his medical with an injury? Go figure. They make it up as they go along, my friend. Let me just get this set of super chat as well. 1 second. Big up Blank again. Run me, Kone, Sangare as the next two signings. They're not going to do that. I think Manchester United, now that we've got two ball-playing midfielders, well, Santos is more of a box defender actually, when he's back in position, he's quite good at winning certain duels, especially on the sides. But Tielemans, nah, forget it. What people are thinking, these people who are overhyping it, are thinking that the way Unai Emery sets up the whole team, and especially what he does with his players, he hides their deficiencies. He implements a system. This is Unai Emery, a fantastic coach. He devises a system where they gets the best out of his players, but then hides their deficiencies. So, and anytime when he's played well, anytime I speak to Villa fan, they said to me, whether it was Kamara or Onana next to him, that's where Tielemans played well. Now, Tielemans, he's not that bad on the one-to-one duel when everybody's in position. When he's in position, when he's back in position, he can read and nick a ball. But if it's an open space, see you later. Good night, Vienna. If there's open space, 10 yards either side of him, take care. It's been a pleasure. He's getting dog walked. Simple as. People, please.
You see the way you say it.
Go on.
You see the way you say it. That might not necessarily be the way Carrick see it. I think Carrick is pretty a possession or progressive manager. So he's thinking, if I have enough football on the pitch and I minimize the mistakes, the turnovers, by having people who are good on the ball, I won't necessarily need to recover it. I won't need players in that profile. Maybe the Premier League will prove him wrong or right. We don't know. His plan is based on having players that are good on the ball. And if that's the road we're going, let's wait and see what he has to produce. As far as I'm concerned, what is telling to me and what I wish we could do is it might be time to get rid of Bruno. It's not an agenda, right? Because the signing of Tielemans is like a 10/8. So I'm thinking we have Kobe, Tielemans, potentially Mason Mount, and Bruno. That's almost an embarrassment of passers or people who can play at the edge of the box. It might be signaling that Bruno is on his way out. That's possible. Because either way, regardless of who we sign in that midfield, if we put Bruno in that mix, we play Bruno ball. So it might be a challenge for the manager to create a chemistry with Bruno in that middle.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very interesting because I think Bruno, when you got Tielemans on the pitch who can play, who can be a playmaker, high volume playmaker, you might not rely on so much on Bruno. And that to me would be a good thing. But to me, the biggest problem is when Manchester United lose the ball, do we have the centre halves that can play halfway line and squeeze the play up the pitch and construct the spaces? By the way, like I said, we're not revealing why Ben is wearing unless we get to 150 likes. Sorry, people, it's gone up now to 150 likes because you were too slow with 100 to get to the 100. So another 20 likes and Ben will reveal why he's wearing. And then 200 likes, Ben's gonna sing "To Show You the Way."
No, Dean, I would like to take you on that. You're talking about defending, squeezing out the play, right? I think defending is mostly structural. If you want to set up low block, mid block, and then if you want to press, that's also defending. But I don't think recovery is defending, because if you find yourself trying to recover, that means that somewhere you surrender the ball in your progressive phase and somebody is breaking on you. That's almost like a situational football of catastrophe. And I don't think any manager legislates for that, to turn the ball over a certain number of times in the final third when they plan for their everyday game plan. So that might be where Carrick is going, where we don't have priority in signing players that are physically robust, that can cover ground. Of course, it's always a virtue of the system, because we see with somebody like Amorim, he take that as an integral part of his system because he likes to create his isolation. And yes, when you have players,
so does Carrick still creates an isolation too. You know,
no.
Let's not forget that our midfield is still as open as the fucking whatever it is. Like, you know, it is ridiculous right now. Yeah, obviously we still have a wee bit more compact compared to Amarim, but it's still nowhere near any better, Blomani. Let's not get carried away, man. Let's not get carried away.
No, I'm not. Look, I watched the game today. You watch Kukurea and Poro being all the way up the pitch, splitting their defenders and playing a single pivot. It doesn't get any riskier than that. But they can absorb those risks because they don't give you the ball, and I think that's something.
No. But you see, they don't. They do play a single pivot when they're on the ball. But what the frick was that? But see when they're off the ball, see Danny Olmo and Fabian Ruiz, they're instantly back in that position, helping Rodri. Hence why France couldn't even get anywhere near the final third. They were just so compact. Once they have the ball, they're immediately back. They're not like fucking a number 10. Like Danny Olmo was probably the number 10 in that team, but he actually acts like a fucking 8 because once they have the ball, he's saying shit. I need to recover back and stay beside Rodri or fucking Ruiz. That's why I always stress to you, Luani, that you can't Yes, go on.
But that's more positional discipline than having legs. They back up because that's their setup. They set up like that. You notice either they back up or they press you right away. They press you high so you can turn the ball over. I've seen another team play like that, and it's City. And it's a staple of people who possess the ball a lot and who take a lot more risk. They don't want to give you the ball, but when they give it to you, they make sure they get it back as soon as possible because they know that they don't have the numbers behind. They have committed a lot of people to their attack. So it's not about leg, it's not about physical.
No, but Lawani, there's other clubs that play the top clubs in the world play like that, Lawani. Once you lose the ball, they're instantly running back and staying in that position. Newcastle, PSG, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester City, as you said, the old Liverpool style in Fabinho and fucking Wijnaldum and don't know what the other brother's called. But as soon as they bought Wirtz, look what happens. They try to play a double pivot and play a number 10, and look what happens. Arsenal has probably the worst season in probably Liverpool's like last fucking few years. Why? Because they're playing a number 10. Once they lose the ball, Wirtz is nowhere near to be fucking seen in that midfield because he's doing a fucking Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount role where he's just chasing the fucking ball. That's not how and what Carrick's trying to do is exactly what Ten Hag tried to do. It's exactly what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer trying to do. No,
I disagree.
Right, okay.
I disagree because the reason I disagree is because I look at Carrick, right? I think that this year he just have to do with what he has. I don't think his original intention is to try to create isolation with Cunha and create isolation with Ahmad, right? I think at the end of the day, this is a manager that wants to. He rather create overlap and he rather create like either overlap or underlap or because it's a risk adverse thing. Isolation is almost a 50-50. If you commit a lot of people up the pitch and you create isolation, if you lose the ball, you will need that recovery pace. And hence where Kobe couldn't get a game in Amorim's system because he needed that recovery pace. Amorim was relying a lot on Ahmad, switch of play to Ahmad, isolation, switch of play to the right, Dogu, in space isolation. But I don't think that's what Carrick wants to do because Carrick's commit more people forward because we play small ball. And at the end of the day, if you have your overlaps and you can cross the ball or you can do like a cutback, that's what he wants at that point.
But that's nice. That's nice. Ball. Yeah. But it's nice to hear what we're doing on the ball. I actually don't mind what Carrick's doing on the ball. It's off the ball. I remember Nurden was on this fucking show. Zanderberg, it was at Fulham at Old Trafford. Zanderberg ran the fucking show. Do you know why? Because Mainu and Casemiro are like literally fucking in their fucking 80s because they were literally that fucking tired and they didn't have the fucking legs because they were just running left, right all over the fucking show. And there was one goal I think we conceded. I don't remember the game where I think it was Ahmad passed the ball into the midfield and look what happens. Casemiro and Mainu are literally right beside each other in the fucking the sideline. There's no one to be seen in the fucking midfield in the center circle. You know what I mean? And off we go, they just score like that. That's what I'm trying to say, Luani. That is a big, big concern. Yes, it would have happened under Ruben Amorim because he only plays a double pivot. Yes, it would have happened under Ten Hag because Eriksen, Casemiro, they were a double pivot. Yes, it would have happened the same with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he became permanent manager, when it was Pereira, McTominay, Fred. It would have happened the same thing. The only manager that would not have tolerated this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he was caretaker manager, when it was Herrera who can do the leg, he can cover the ground and all that shit. You got Matic, who's got the defensive stability. He can play it from the back. He can play through the first phase. He can play between the lines. And then you've got Pogba, who's basically, you've got Pogba and Matic, who are literally both monsters, are fucking beasts, and they can provide defensively stability. And then you've got Herrera, who's literally can cover the fucking ground. Man's literally like, we all saw how Herrera ran, bro. He literally ran the fucking show. Without Herrera, that midfield would never have worked, because you've got all three of them players all complemented to each different profile. That's what I'm trying to say to you, Lamani. With Mainu and Casemiro, both of them aren't really mobility. They're not mobility. Yes, they do add physicality. Both of them do add physicality. Casemiro obviously has the aerial threat as well. But off the ball, it's a shit show. And we've seen it. Nuruddin's seen it. We've seen it. Probably Cameron has seen it as well. Everything's just always... Forget about on the ball, what character wants to do on the ball. Just always keep focusing on what we want to do off the ball. In my opinion, Luane, I do disagree with you in terms of we don't need legs when it comes to off the ball. We do. We literally do. And I think when it comes to the physicality of the department of when it comes to Carrington, I don't know what we're doing in training. Whether to me, like over these last few years, the players haven't actually bulked up a lot, and in my opinion, they haven't actually worked enough on their fitness. In my opinion, because I just think we've just been. Man United's just been around in circles, bro. We've had different managers, which doesn't help for players, like different systems. Obviously, the intensity of the training as well. I remember Ruben Amorim was I think his training was longer, but it was like less intense. Whereas Carrick's training is there's a lot less days for training, but it's way more intense. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I just want players who can. We just need to, like I said, I always keep saying it to Nerd and all yous. We just need a monster in that midfield who could do the dirty work off the ball. He just, like, if you would ask right now,
I don't think we need just one. I don't think we just need.
No,
one.
no, but
now that we've signed Santos and Tielemans, because we already have Bruno who loses the ball, who takes a lot of risks. We need two now.
Yeah. I mean, I'll come on to
one
that.
and he gets injured, then we've got nobody else who can do that job. Big up to Jarvis. Yes, we're going to improve, become more consistent, have control transition, not live off them. But that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
People, please get involved. Listen, we are 10 likes away from Ben telling us why he's wearing the shades. Earth, are you there? But I go back to Cameron. Cameron, from everything you think, obviously, Manchester United, how much do you think, be honest, don't try to stick the knife in. Give an honest, objective view. From what we sign in Santos and Tielemans, do you think Manchester United can improve levels? Has a technical ceiling been lifted with those two players?
Probably not, honestly. No, I think Santos has some potential. I think he could be a good fit in the future. I think as a rotation option now, maybe he could find a role next season and become something. I don't really know much about him to seal him. But I think the Tielemans signing, I was really shocked to see that. If you told me that Everton did this deal or Fulham, I'd say that would make sense. Not for United. You guys are too big a club to sign somebody whose legs have there's a reason why Villa are letting him go, and for that price, it's not because they're unhappy. They put it like that. And then I just don't think he's physical enough.
By the way, they're signing that kid from Freiburg. Manzambi.
Yeah, I just think somebody at 29, for me, if that was a signing when you feel
5-year contract, 5-year,
man, it's insane. And I'm being genuinely honest, I think the Santos signing is one that could work.
It might be 4 year plus one extra. Go ahead.
It's still he's had weight issues before. He's had injuries. He's got injury issues now. He can't get box to box. When I've watched Villa at their worst, he's been a big part of it because he's not been able to compete physically. He can be wasteful on the ball too. So if you have him losing the ball and you have Bruno losing the ball, you guys are in trouble. It's just like you guys have echoed, really. You guys need somebody who can get box to box, who can cover ground, who can break up play. Win those second duels, win the ball back. He just doesn't do that. Can he spray the ball around? Yeah, 100%. But like, there's lots of players. It's a Premier League. Lots of players can do that. But for a big club like United, especially with what Carrick wants to do, possession based, that you need to have somebody who's ready to break up those transitions. And like Nurian said, I think he's going to be embarrassing to see him get walked around that park, huffing and puffing. At 29, if it's a bad year, you're not going to get any money back from
but
it.
Also, the injury record is shocking. 23 games he missed last season. They got to blank Bruno to Saudi for 100 million. Get it done, son. It's not happening.
Martin Luther, I have a dream. I have a dream.
Yeah. By the way, people, we're 8 likes away before Ben reveals it all. 8 likes away before Ben reveals it all.
My brothers, okay. When it comes to physicality, I think that is so overrated in football, right? Talking about physicality in football is like talking to saying
the Premier League physicality is overrated in the Premier League.
No, in general, because
no,
football, right?
We're not talking about in general. We're talking about the Premier League. No, Luwani, what I'm specifically asking you a question about the Premier League.
Yeah.
Not about world football, not international football. I'm specifically asking you about the current makeup of the players, the fullbacks that we have. We have one guy who doesn't go past the halfway line. We've got a guy who inverts. That is Diego Dalot. He's a headless chicken. He gets absolutely bozo moments in defense, and we get bullied. We've got 3 centre backs who are injury prone: Martinez, De Ligt, and Maguire. By the way, Maguire wasn't sitting on the bench on Ten Hag. He was injured a lot of the time. Under Amarim as well, he was also injured. So explain to me in the context of Manchester United in terms of the physicality. Go ahead.
Okay. I use overrated. I didn't say it's not important, right? Talking about physicality to a footballer is like talking to somebody who have their masters in engineering about algebra. That gets you, that's the prerequisite to be a professional footballer. You have to be physical to a certain level. Yes, do we have the exceptionally physical athletes? Yes, we do. Like a Jude Bellingham that can take the ball and plow through the midfield. Cool. But in that context, now we start talking about situational football. And situational football is moment in the game. Physicality is important when you're doing a recovery pace. It's important to win a 50-50 when you cross the ball in and you want your striker or your defenders to dominate in the air. It's important. But those are situational football. There's still 90 minutes of football that hinge on the fact that any player, whether they're tall, they're strong, they're short, they still have to make the best decision on the ball. Be good on the ball, control it properly, release it. Fundamental on point, technicality on point. Those are actually, I think, very important aspect of the game. Look, when we talk about profile, when you take a football player, when you talk about profile, I look at 3 things. Is he a good carrier of the ball? Is he a good passer of the ball? Is he a good thinker? And in that mode, we have players like that. When we talk about thinker, we have in our team somebody like Mason Mount, right? Underrated. He doesn't have any physical attribute. He's considered the least technical guy. But last time we played him for 2 games, I think we played him in a double pivot, and he didn't put a foot wrong. When we talk about passers, we have passer profile like Adam Wharton, the guy Santos we just signed. And then we have ball carriers too, like Baleba is a premium ball carrier. Those are things that I think about, but it's not physicality in terms of covering the ground. You can be tall, fast, and okay, you take the ball, you start controlling it around, and the ball gets stuck in your feet. Look, when it comes to a duel, you can have the smallest players take the ball off the biggest players if that player does not know how to manipulate the ball. This is not rugby. This is not American football that we can talk about, big physical tackling and all of that. No, it's football. So at the end of the day, in the Premier League, yes, to a certain extent, the game is faster. It's based on athlete. But in the same Premier League, Manchester City, who is probably one of the least physical teams in the league, has dominated by putting the ball on the floor. I still have nightmare thinking about Pep Guardiola sitting there and saying he put the ball in the fridge. What he means is that we couldn't touch the ball. And today,
okay, Luwani. So you picked one example. Yeah. You picked the most obsessive coach in world football in terms of what his team do when they lose the ball. in terms of how every player is activated to win the ball back. You're talking about the most specific team that hunts the ball down as a team, as a 3, as a 4, and who does the most tactical fouling in Premier League history. Let me just answer this guy here. In all of these times since 2022, right, Bruno G has missed 25 games, right, in all of these time at Newcastle. Your boy Tillemans missed 23 last season at Villa. Give it a fucking rest, right? Give it a rest. And last season, Bruno Guimaraes was his most absence last season because he had a bad hamstring tear. So give it a rest. He's the most guys who plays. I want Luani to come back at that. Everybody picks this thing. Everybody picks. I'm not talking about somebody being the size. Small guys can be strong on the ball. I remember as a kid, when we played against when I played against West Brown, we knew West Brown was going to make it because on the ball he was stronger than all of us. Trying to get we're bouncing off him. I played against players, who are shorter than me, who are thinner than me, like this, who you can't get the ball off because they're ball strong. They are ball strong. You can't. They know how to use their body. Bernardo Silva is the perfect example. What I'm talking about, and I don't think people are hearing what I'm talking about, physicality. I'm talking about, can you hunt the ball down? Do you have the stamina? Can you do it with the intensity and the fitness to be able to recover the ball and to be able to stay disciplined while your team is under the cosh? That's what I'm talking about in terms of being able to do the other side. Spain tonight in international football proved it. Off the ball, every player, they knew exactly what spaces to be, where they are. The 5th Manchester United team scream to you, they know exactly what they're doing off the ball. Especially when we're not going to have the whole of the team in the preseason because majority of them are going to have 3 weeks off, right? 3, that's what they're going to have. The players who played last season, and other than the signings who are going to come in, we're not going to have that. We're not going to have a full-on preseason where we've got the whole squad firing to go, learning a way to play. It's going to be staggered because you're waiting for people to come back from the World Cup holiday. They've not taken a holiday. So by the time the league games start, by the time we're 4 or 5 games in, do they know what they're doing? That's the problem. So nobody's talking about the biggest thing in football, you have to have technical ability. But if you can't run in football, in the Premier League, the average midfielder has to run 10 kilometers, 10.5, 11 kilometers. They have to make at least 13 or 14 sprints during the game. 14 sprints during the game because the way the ball gets shifted in the Premier League. English football has always had an element. You can bring all of the people from outside, all of the foreign players from all over the world. They have to adapt to running. Pep Guardiola's team ran the hardest. They worked on and off the ball. They knew exactly what they were doing. Yes, Luani, they kept the ball in the fridge. And then what happens when you chase shadows? You get drained and tired even more because you're not using the ball. But when City lost the ball, they didn't have to be counter-attacked. They knew exactly what to do. They had Fernandinho, who was one of the best players I have ever seen doing tactical fouling. No other player did a tactical fouling in my lifetime that I've ever watched in Fernandinho. He just about got his little foot in without making the tackle or the foul look bad. That's why no referees would ever give him a red card because what he used to do, he was so clever. He'll just foul you, but he will never make it look reckless. He will never make it look like he hurt you. Listen, we're gonna go to Ben, but I want to let Luani come back at what I said.
So you use the words like hunt down the ball, cover the ground. Let's just make sure we are not conflicting term, right? There is tactical and positional discipline. And even when you pressing, there is more of an element of tactical to it, because you have to press in a certain manner, or they'll just play through you no matter how fast, how strong you are. So if we're talking about the press, the defensive side of it, how intense City is at getting the ball back, it's a pitch where you have 11 players, and each area of the pitch have a corridor and you have to have a certain way of pressing. There's a certain organizational thing to it, and if you miss that aspect of it, it won't matter how you press, because
Well,
when you see this French team today, right, you see a midfield of Kone.
They got overrun. They were playing against the three.
The reason why,
and they played against one of the best DMs in world football, in Rodri.
No.
And then
Ruiz,
unbelievable. Unbelievable. The
He's
best
insane.
trio who won the Champions League. Do you see Luis? He knows exactly how to take the ball. And almost drop it in.
So are you talking about the same Rodri that we play against? We beat them. Do you know?
Yes, but we can beat them.
Do you know why we beat? No. Do you know why? Do you know why we beat them? Do you know why we beat them? Because the game plan that Pep had in place that day was based on Semenyo and Doku. He didn't play through the midfield, so it's the same. And that day, I didn't hear anybody talking about Rodri's world class.
Let me just say this.
Completely different though. You can't equate those two. You can't equate those two.
Yes, I can, because we're talking about the same midfielder here. He's suddenly the best midfielder of the world.
Let me just say this. You're talking about David Luiz, yeah, who's been part of defending twice Champions League winners, 2-time Champions League winning midfield as a trio. You're talking about Rodri, who's been, for the last part, a Ballon d'Or. When was the last time a Ballon d'Or guy, a midfield player, a defensive midfield player won the Ballon d'Or? He won the Ballon d'Or. So you're talking about somebody who's got pedigree. That doesn't mean they can't get beat the game here and there. The reason why I beat Man City, because Pep thought Manchester United are going to play open and they're going to play the bastard multiplication. And we know what Ten Hag did. Ten Hag brought in Amrabat. He squeezed the back four in the midfield, played a mid-block, won the ball back, and we went at them. And their defenders made mistakes. But Ben, people have already... Ben, 1 second. People are already liked 150 likes. It's time for you to reveal why you're wearing the shades.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Before I get to that, there's another reason.
No,
Yeah,
Ben.
yeah.
You can't get to that. People have waited enough. They're giving me a hard time. I must
Okay.
reveal. We'll come back to Luani.
Well, I mean, I've posted in the. There's, if you can read my comment, Nerdin, it's just a wee bit down there. I've posted a wee comment in the chat, and I just thought I'd like to share it to the whole panel and to the whole chat, man. Should be on down, Nerdin. Near the bottom. It's like above. Where is it?
Tell us. We can't see the chat. Just tell us why is that?
Well, first things first. The reason why I am wearing my shades today is nothing to do with Tielemans, nothing to do with Santos. It's to do with every bootlicker, every content creator out there, every Man United content creator out there who are, gassing up the Ineos propaganda bullshit. The transfer window's going super well. That's why I'm just here to embarrass them, because that's what I've been hearing. Every YouTube video I've been watching has just been, it's been a calamity. And you know what? I've got to give big props to Nuruddin. I've got to give big props to Musa. I've got to give big props to Saeed too. Because, and this has nothing to do with Tielemans now. Do you want my 2 pence on Tielemans? I like him. I do like him. I think he's a good player. I think we've signed him 2 or 3 years too late, similar to Nemanja Matic. I do like him. I do like what he can offer on the ball a lot. He's a very technical, gifted footballer. I thought he was pretty shit at Leicester, but I think Unai Emery has revived him in this Aston Villa team. Now, the biggest thing everyone needs to understand is when Tielemans was playing in that Villa team, Onana and what's that French brother, the defensive midfielder, Kamara, he allowed Tielemans to get up the pitch and do like basically have the Bruno rule, like him to allow like a lot of freedom to, for him to obviously cook obviously in the final third and for Villa to push up on the pitch. That's the thing that we have to focus on. He had so much freedom in that Villa team, and look, I'm all for it. Like the thing is, the one he was spot on earlier. If Bruno Fernandes wasn't in this team anymore, or Mason Mount wasn't in this team anymore, I wouldn't be as annoyed or as I am right now, because I know what Tielemans can do up in the final third, but like you said, Nurden, it's what he does off the ball, and the fact that he's missed 24 games last season due to an injury, and he's had I think his biggest injury is his calf, which is a really, really big concern in football. It's not a good look, man. And I said it to you right now, and like if you were to ask Santos, Kobe Mainu, Bruno Fernandes, because he's a midfielder in a way in this system. You ask Tielemans. If you ask every single one of them players, what do they prefer? Do they prefer attacking or defending? They're sure all of them would rather prefer attacking. But see if you ask fucking Nemanja Matic, Herrera, Pogba even as well, to a certain extent, because Pogba had to do the dirty work. If you ask fucking partially Fred in a way. If you ask Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Carrick, I'll even go back even further. What do you call the fucking... Oh, what do you call him? Ah, man, it's in my fucking head. I can't remember his fucking name. You're a big fan of him, Nurden. You're a big fan of him. But anyways, forget about all that. My point is, right, I'm not against the signing. I'm not. Do I think it's very, brave? No. I don't think it is at all. I think the fact people say it's market value, look at the market, all this shit. I just think they've seen a release clause. They've acted on it. They said, "Oh, here we can get this over and done with, and it's good night Vienna. We've got the deal done and all that shit." I just think the more and more I see when we purchase these signings, we're buying players not only that they want to come to Man United, but also we have a release clause. Like you look at Mateus Cunha. We bought him because he had a release clause. We've now bought this guy who has a release clause, and he wants to come to Man United too. And look, that's a good thing. Like, I don't really mind players who want to come to Man United. I don't mind that at all. But my biggest worry is, and it comes back to my thing, we don't have a player that can do the off-the-ball work. We don't have that duty at all. We don't have the legs. We don't have the physicality, because we're missing the most important ingredient for Casemiro. One of Casemiro's biggest strengths was his set pieces. I was always confident in Casemiro. I was like saying, bro, this guy's gonna win every header when they have a corner. It was every fucking time, and Casemiro always was there for the rescue, and Maguire to some extent. But now we've got rid of the vocal point in Casemiro for our set pieces. We're gonna be shit next season for set pieces, because we just don't have that aerial threat anymore. We don't. We really, really don't. And when it comes to like the likes of this midfield situation, as I said to you before, if Bruno Fernandes and Mount were gone, like I wouldn't be mad at the signing, because I know Tielemans can do well up in the pitch. I know we can progress the ball so high up, and he can keep the ball. The ball just sticks to his feet, and that's what I love about him. But the thing is we don't need one more midfielder, Nurden. And people might think I'm going crazy, like people might think I'm going delusional, but we don't need one more midfielder. We need two more midfielders. Do you know why? Because we've just basically signed two players in Tielemans and Santos that's not going to be fighting for Bruno Fernandes, people. They're going to be fighting for Kobe Mainu. They're going to be fighting for Kobe Mainu, because if Carrick even thinks in his dreams that he can play a double pivot with Kobe Mainu and Tielemans, or Kobe Mainu and Santos, he's smoking something, man. He's actually smoking something. He's on Mars. Like, what is he thinking? Like, that's just unbalanced right there, mate. We beat Man City. I want to keep saying about Man City and shit. We beat Man City because, do you know who their other two midfielders was? Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden. That's who the other two midfielders. So, do you know what? God love Rodri, man. God love Rodri in that game. Do you know why? Because he's got two other fucking delusional, players in front of him. Yes, they're good footballers, but they don't. Defensively, they're shocking. They're abysmal. So that's what I'm trying to get my point across now. If you were to ask me Manu Kone and a Sander Berg as your last two midfielders, then I can get on board with that, because two of them are just Well, obviously you got Sander Berg, who's obviously a controller, but I've seen Sander Berg, cover that ground, cover that space as well, especially in that Fulham game. He ran that show, man. And see with Kone as well. Yes, obviously the ACL, the injuries are a big concern. But same time, bro, if you had Kone and Sander Berg and Bruno Fernandes or Kobe Mainu in that midfield three, bro. If you play them two and Bruno up the pitch in the Liverpool game and Man City game and Spurs game and all the top teams, you'd be so confident because you got not only you got Bruno Fernandes or Kobe Mainu being the creative midfielder, but you've also got two beasts who can literally do the off the ball duty. And that's what I'm trying to say. The reason why France didn't lose tonight, it's not because of anything to do with physicality or positional discipline to some degree, even though they looked very tired. It's because the tactics were just spot on. What your man, I don't know what you call him, the Spanish guy, Spanish coach, he just wanted Dani Olmo. The key factor is it's nothing to do with Fabian Ruiz or Rodri. It's nothing to do with them two because them two know how to operate as a double pivot, but also as a free man.
But they weren't just operating as a double pivot. It was the whole team press.
Yes, it was a whole team prep. But this is what another thing I was trying to get onto. Jarvis. I think Jarvis put it in a comment as well. Press resistant. We need press resistant players. Like I remember back in the day, and you would obviously agree. When we went to Anfield, when we went to the Etihad, we couldn't get out of our box because teams in front of us, Salah, Mane, like Firmino, Haaland, fucking obviously you had Aguero, you had Sané, you had fucking all these players, man. They were just pressing so high up the pitch, and none of them were ever tired after a fucking game. Whereas us, we're always fucking tired after a full-time game because why? Because we haven't got press-resistant players. We haven't got defensive stability in this team. We haven't. And physicality is a big factor, Luani. I completely disagree with you.
Listen, let me just get into the chats.
Just one more final thing. The final thing I want to say is, who won the league? Arsenal won the league. If anyone could say to you right now, why did Arsenal win the league? Yeah, obviously their defense, obviously won them the league with Saliba and stuff. But their physical condition is second to none. It's outstanding.
Nope,
it's actually amazing.
I disagree.
No, well, that's your
All right, let me just get the super chats. But
that's the reason why. That's the reason why I'm wearing shade is because to put on a show to all the Ineos bootlickers who are so gassed about this window. But yeah, that's my
big up. Big up. Let me just get this Bruno to Saudi. Oh, we did that. Big up, just waffling. United fans have become injury record merchants all of a sudden. No, they haven't. Listen, if we're just waffling, we've not become injury merchant all of a sudden, record merchants. We understand what we've got in our football club. We have Manchester United is the only football club that's ever in my lifetime that the medical department have been sued for mishandling of injuries. Manchester United most likely will not want to get it to court. They're going to pay the player out, but we've got players suing them. And then go and hear what Martial said. Martial said, the way I was handled, my injuries I've become the player that I've become. And I saw it with my own eyes. Marcus Rashford had broken bones in his back and he was getting played. He couldn't put his boot on and he was getting played. So for me, I always said when I played football at the lowest level of, like, it's not even amateur, it's the lowest Sunday league, Saturday league. But I would always say, if you're not injured, if you're an injured player, it's a disservice to yourself, first of all. You're not 100%. You can't play. The injury is that bad that you can't play. Disservice to the coach, the team that you play for. It's just a disservice to everybody. So if you're not, somebody else can come in that position and play instead of you. You're not the Zidane of that fucking Saturday, Sunday league that the team can't live without you. No fucking way. You need to step up. But in professional football, it's exactly the same. So Manchester United have the worst. We've got a guy called Dr. Death. We had Arsenal's absolute cast-off, O'Driscoll, Dr. Death, who said he was going to leave. I pay fucking attention to what's going on in every department of my football club. I've always said it. Manchester United's injury rehab department is a pile of shite. Then you got Jim the racist Glazer coming out, going when he was sacking people right, left, and center. Looked at them all, went into the gymnasium before the bit of the Carrington was refurbed, looked at them and said, "What are they all doing?" And they were like, "Oh, that's the sport medicine. That's the injury and rehab. That's the physios." And you know what he said to them? This is the real quote. We don't need all those guys. I just stretch and run when I go run a marathon in London. This is what he said. That's a fact. These are the clownish levels we've got at this football club. So don't call us merchants when we know we can't keep players fucking fit. To compound it even more, we misdiagnose players. We force players to play with injury and they get even more injured. So give it a fucking rest. Know who the fuck you support before you come and make these comments. Mason Mount equals overpaid garbage. Listen, I've already posted it. Mason Mount is the guy. That's what they're telling me. He's the guy. He finished the season strongly, and Manchester United are not listening to any offers for it.
You're number 7, man.
That's just what it tells you. There is no way to construct midfield except complementing profiles, good coaching. Watch Chillerman versus USA Rodri first time today. It's very, very similar style of keeping the ball paired with runners. Have you just compared Tillemans to Rodri?
Jesus Christ, bro.
Your fan base is going to be crying.
But Cameron, this is what the fan base has been like for the last 10 years. The fan base actually tolerates an owner who was racist, by the way. This is what we're trying to like. That's what I'm trying to say. So if I've seen that, by the way, then I don't know what else, man. That, honestly, it's fucking wild. The only reason why we're not protesting right now is because we've got Sir Jim Wilcock and fucking Omar Potato Barada, man. That's the only reason why we're not protesting right now is because they have a plan. We got a sporting director. We got a chief executive. He knows what he's doing. Like Jesus fucking Christ.
I saw some
give
guy
it
in
a
the
rest, man.
Some of the chat he was having a go.
Where's Luwani? I need Luwani to come back. I need Luwani to come back. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Who ran the most tonight in tonight's game?
What in the Spain team or both teams?
No, in France. Between France and Spain, who ran more?
Oh, Spain. Spain.
France.
Exactly. No, Spain. Spain ran more.
Wow.
Spain ran more because they pressed the living day out of them.
Yep.
They pressed the living day out of them.
And the thing is as well, there was one time when I think France were playing out, and it actually was really good play from France. I seen Rodri, by the way, probably the deepest lying midfielder that you can think of. He's so high up in the pitch, and I'm like, holy good grief, Rodri, what are you doing up there? But you know what the difference is? Where is Dani Olmo and where is fucking Ruiz? They're like a couple of yards behind him. They're not like 10 or 15 yards behind him. They're all very close. So that's why they were playing the high press. And I just said, bro, this is just smart tactics for what Spain are doing. And they couldn't get past. They could not get past. Yo,
I've asked a question. Luwani back. Luwani, we need Luwani to come back because I want to have this debate. I asked, is Tillemans the new Scholes? 51% of Manchester United fans have said yes. 49% have said no. I'm just dumbfounded.
I think there's some people in the comments coming after me and you saying any of us have actually bought a good signing, and these two could just always be negative.
I'm going to ask this. What was the question I was going to ask? Oh shit! I was going to do a poll. Oh my god!
Is Mason Mount the new Cristiano Ronaldo?
Oh no! I'm right here.
People can come after us, no problem. Oh yeah, this is the question I'm going to ask. Do you trust Manchester United's injury and rehab department? Yes or no? It's a simple. Do you trust Man UFC's? Go ahead, Cameron. Come in, Cameron. Tell us about why you won the league.
We won the league because of
your defensive solidity.
Exactly, off the ball. On the ball, we were pretty. It was probably our worst season we've had in like 5 years. We were pretty pissed on the ball, but off the ball, everybody worked to a T. I was about to say as well, when we're talking about players like Rice and Anderson, the reason why they're worth so much money is they're box-to-box players. They can cover ground. They cover the pitch,
Facts.
90 minutes, machines. So when people are saying, "Oh, it's a given that footballers are athletes," it's not actually. Because I've watched Cazorla for years. He's a little midget, never really in top shape, but he was so good at football, it didn't matter. Like it overcame his physical, his lack of physicality. So when you got people in this chat going, "Oh, Villa, the release clause," and Villa didn't want to get rid of Tielemans. No. Villa is very smart. They knew exactly what's going on. If they wanted to keep Tielemans, they'd have renewed his contract last season. They can see this hill coming, and they've sold you a player that's on the back end of his career, on the downslope, and you've still not plugged a huge gap, which is off the ball, physical defensive midfielder. Like you've still not. That's so when you guys don't have the ball, it's gonna be same old crying again. You know, Brentford against whoever, they're just gonna keep scoring, and you're gonna go, "Why has that happened? Where's Bruno? Where's Mainu?"
Cameron, can you please explain, since you're an Arsenal fan? I didn't really rate Declan Rice at West Ham. When he went to Arsenal, I literally saw when you play without Declan Rice, defensively, the amount of fires that guy puts out is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Can you please just explain? Just waffling. I'm going to come to your super chat in a minute. Let's Cameron answer. Go ahead.
Yeah. When I watched him at West Ham, I wasn't massively convinced, similar to you, but there were some signs that he could be a good, like, whatever you want to call it, defensive midfielder, sweeper, the dual winner. And then when we got him, just straight away off the bat, he was the perfect number 8. Every duel he won, second balls he won, right to the end, 90 minutes. Like you've always said, Nuruddin, availability, being able to play like 40 odd games a season.
Yeah, the best ability is availability, mate.
Yeah, 100% agree. And that's what Declan Rice is. He's a monster. He's a machine. And nobody is more switched on for 90 minutes defensively than him. And are you going to get that with Tielemans? Probably not. On
the ball, I think Tielemans will do well on the ball.
Really well.
Yeah,
but off the ball is where we'll struggle. Listen, let me just get the super chat. There is no way to construct
You've already read this. You've already read this, so you have Nuruddin. This is the one where he compared Tielemans to Rodri.
Well, let me just get the second one. I love you, Nuruddin, but sometimes you listen to respond, don't listen to understand. Fair enough. I'll take that criticism. Didn't say Tielemans and Rodri are the same. Fair enough. I said they had similar performance because of the good midfield balance coaching. Yes. This is where I can agree with. I 100% agree. The good coaching and the balance of midfield, players who can complement each other. What I can't do, you're better in what my deficiency you can cover, and I can cover your deficiency. I will always say, anytime I buy a player for Manchester United, you have to be able to handle the ball. Whether you're a centre-half, whether you are a left-back, whether you are a centre midfielder, whether you are a winger, whether you are a number 10, whether you are a striker. Any signing, the first thing you have to do, can you handle the ball? Can you keep the ball for a minute? Can you know how to use your body? In midfield is even more vital that you have. For me, I will never sign football. People misunderstand me. You know the same way people are that I misunderstood you, just waffling. People misunderstand me. Technicality is important, but quickness of mind, quickness of body, it is super important. It is vital in the Premier League. That's why the Premier League, it is the most challenging and difficult league in world football. Why? Yes. Because every team runs. Luwani, I've got a question to ask you. Who ran more tonight between France and Spain?
I don't have the data, but...
No, you don't have the data. Give me a guess. You watched the game. Who do you think ran more tonight?
I'll tend to say that... I'll ask you who had the most possession. Because generally the way it goes is the team that have the most possession runs more.
Well, there you go. Spain has 51% possession. Spain ran more. Spain ran more because they have a systemic way of playing, and you and the majority of United fans are for wishing this imaginary world where Michael Carrick is going to have all of his squad and is going to have a month of training before any game kicks off. That's not happening. I've already explained that to you already. When the World Cup guys are not coming 2 weeks later than everybody else when the
season
preseason is
starts.
already up, right? So what you're not understanding is Michael Carrick to the same level as Unai Emery in terms of setting up a system that gets the best out of his players and hides the deficiencies? Luwani, answer the question for me, please.
Sorry, what was the question?
I'm asking you the question. Is Michael Carrick anywhere close to Unai Emery in terms of coaching a team in a system that hides the deficiencies of their whole team and showcases the best of their talents?
No, absolutely not. But we cannot compare both because, right, Unai Emery.
No, we're talking about Tielemans. I'm asking the question and I'm talking about it in terms of the Tielemans. Tielemans had a good season after being injured for 23 games, by the way. 23 games. 23. He had a decent season and a decent finish to the season. They had their whole midfield decimated. McGinn was out. Kamara was Kamara is an incredibly injury-prone player anyway. He's never fit, Kamara, and they got him on a free. Onana now is going to be out. They're going to sign other midfielders. But he made sure he got the best out of Tielemans. Tielemans lost weight. Remember when he left Leicester? He was carrying a bit. He lost weight. He worked on his game. And there's a coach who got the best out of him. That is the point I'm saying to you. And I still think we need another player. But let me just see where we are on the likes.
That, right?
You can respond. You can respond. Let me just get to how many likes we're at. People, we're not even anywhere near 200 likes. We're not I don't know what you guys are doing. Over 300 of you in here. We're not even anywhere near 200 likes. The least you could do is like the video. It costs you absolutely nothing. Go ahead.
So, we can always be moving the goalposts when we're talking about this subject, right? When we talk about Yuri Tielemans playing for Aston Villa and the way Unai Emery was able to use
Luwani, we're not losing. We're not moving the goalposts. We're talking about a systemic way of playing. We're talking about the way that we can
let me elaborate, right?
To get the best out of Tielemans. Nobody's moving the goalposts. I'm giving you an example.
Okay, what I noticed,
he had a good end to the season. He had a good season.
Really good.
Because of the balance, which is what Waffling said. The balance and the coaching are crucial to how you function.
Okay.
Did you see any evidence?
I agree with what you're saying, okay? But to a certain extent. Look, when we talk about the tenure of Tielemans at Aston Villa, we always bring up the talent he was surrounded by. We always bring up how much Unai Emery is able to use him. Unai Emery is also one of the most structurally disciplined coach. If you look at the way Unai Emery team play, I would argue that Aston Villa play unlike an Unai Emery team. We've seen what that the 4-4-2 mid block, low block, that's his thing. So, but when we're talking about Carrick and the way he's going to use Tielemans, the thing is that we don't know. We just don't have any data on that. He might have a plan in his head. And all I'm asking for, let's respect that vision that we don't know. Let's respect that and see what he can bring to the table. Though there's always room for improvement, and there's always room for a new coach to implement new things. It might work, it might not. But at the end of next season, we can revisit this conversation. But it's too early to speculate on how we think Carrick and his team will use Tielemans, and maybe it's justified to go buy him or not.
Carrick had all of the month last season. He had 3 weeks of spaces, 2.5 weeks of spaces. Did not drill a consistent pattern of play. And now you're telling me you want me to imagine and envision that now, when it's a curtailed more of a World Cup year, where most players are going to be on holiday, right? So hardly any of them might not even get a full preseason. You want me to think about that and tell you, yes, they're going to have a very tactically disciplined system. You want me to believe that, right? And then what I believe? You know what I believe?
Fair question.
I've just seen a couple of pigs just fly over that building just there. just over there. I just saw them.
Fair question. Let me tell you what Carrick has, right? Let me tell you what Carrick has last year. Carrick inherited a team that was going down the drain. He didn't have time.
We
but
were
I think
4
he
points away.
Yeah,
4
We're
points
four
yeah,
away,
points
he-
away
from
from
top
top
4.
4.
we were
4
4
points away
points
from top 4.
Okay,
What are we doing
we
here?
were.
You're making it
look.
sound like we were bottom of the league. What are we doing here?
Okay, we were 4 points away. Why did Amorim get fired? We finished the year before. We finished.
Amorim
fifth.
Why did
Why?
Abba get fired?
Because-
Because we wanted a
Okay.
midfielder. He wanted a midfielder.
Okay, listen. Okay, can I make my point? When Carey got
ahead.
that team, number one, he didn't have time on his hand. He inherited a team mid-season. I think he recognized that he had quality, and he doesn't have the time to drill system. Who drills system into a team in the middle of a season? So he took that thing. He said, you know what? I'm going. He said it. He said, I'm going to let these players express themselves, and I trust that we have enough quality to take us to the finish line. And that's exactly what happened. We all sat here on this panel and said we were freestyling. That doesn't mean that Carey doesn't know how to coach. Maybe he chose that he need to let these players expressing themselves will be
But
more to their
that just
advantage
sets
than trying
that
to
just
coach
sets
them.
red
And
flags, Loane.
that's what
That
he
just
did.
sets red flags, man. Because that's just another Ole Gunnar Solskjaer into
We
to my
played
fucking
one
ears,
game a
man.
week. Ben, I just
And-
want to let Jarvis
Yeah,
and
go
Jarvis,
ahead, bro.
you've
Big up
been
Jarvis,
commenting
bro.
a lot. We're having a debate. Can you please?
So,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you, guys. It's a great debate, and I've been in the chat. I've followed the show from the beginning up until now. So yeah, but I just want to say what we need. If you just saw the Spain game against France, you know what a controller do to a game, as Rodri did tonight, and I'm
And
so
Ruiz.
super impressed by the Spanish midfield. It's as I said in the
So
chat.
good.
It's the engine room of the pitch, and if you want a team to have a good engine room, we need to invest in it. And
Yes.
my biggest concern is now with Tielemans coming in. He's not covering a lot of ground. He's very stationary. He keep himself in the central of the pitch all the time. If you look at his heat map, it's no doubt. He plays in the central of the pitch. Kobe Mainu, we know Kobe Mainu, no further explanations. And I'm a little bit uncertain about Santos. I don't know if he could be that engine, the guy who can run up and down, be the all and out, all action number 8.
Jarvis, breaking news. Santos is not that guy. Santos is a guy that will, in our box, when people get in our box, he's very good at closing down, the crosses. He's very good at reading that. When they go to the byline, let's say a number 10 or a striker goes to the byline, he's very good at helping out. He's very good at helping and working around 15, 20 yards.
So
But
like
he's
close
not- yes,
proximity,
very close.
all action guy. Yeah, okay.
Yes, close proximity, high duel contest. High duel.
Yeah,
He's a very he can contest
That's good.
duels.
We need that too.
But-
So
but
it's,
in terms
yeah.
of 15 yards space either side, good night, Vienna.
Yeah, and as I was saying, that's my worry, because right now we have a midfield three guys who is not covering a lot of room, as we said, a lot of legs. They need to cover a lot of kilometers. They need to run a lot, and for me, one of the things that I find most important is recovery pace, because people got to remember when we go in defense, it's easy. We play in a 4-4-2 compact with Carrick. It's not that hard being a midfielder. You just shift from left to right, and you go when you need to. But when we are in a attack, we go with a 2-3-5 or a 3-2-5. It depends. And the one midfielder who stays behind with the 2 center backs is the guy who is the one who needs to have recovery pace. So how quick do you sprint 40 meters? It has nothing to do about ability. It's nothing about about ability to read the game and being on front of it. It has about how quick can you. It's purely about physicality. So you can't measure it by stats. You can just measure it by numbers. So Thunderbirds for me, top speed 36.3. Most midfielders are between 32 to 34 kilometers an hour. So if you put one guy in between Maguire and Lisandro Martinez, it must be Thunderbirds. It's the only one I can see. Sorry. who's quick enough to have the recovery pace, who can help out our rest defense when we are attacking in a 2-3-5 or a 3-2-5. Also, when it comes to aerial abilities, Kobe Mainu wins about 35% of his duels. Tielemans 52%, 52 to 53% on Santos. So we don't have the aerial strength in our midfield, and we will be up against the Evertons, the Brightons, the Bournemouth, all of the teams that will like go harder at us in the air. So how are we going to replace Casemiro in the midfield with the current midfield trio? We need someone who's big, who's tall, someone who's 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", someone who can win those aerial duels. Thunderbirds, who wins 65% of his aerial duels this season for Fulham. And also when we talk about distance covered, Thunderbirds, he's covered 11.6k. That's kilometers, 1,000 meters. If you're not familiar with the metric system. So Thunderbird, he covers a lot of ground, more than 1,000 meters more than the average midfielder in the Premier League. So again, what are we talking about? Do we need legs? Do we need aerial abilities? Do we need someone who can control the game and someone with high speed who can come with the recovery pace? For me, it's obvious. It's Thunderbird, or we could sign Rodri. That would be nice. We could sign, or Declan Rice. That would be super nice. But they are not out there.
The guy that could have done that was
guys,
Elliot Anderson.
Forget about all the names and all your heroes in the midfield, because most of you, when you watch ball, you watch when they are on the ball and what happens when they are active in that one situation. But football is so much more. Ask Noradin. When he goes to Old Trafford, he watches the midfield. He looks at the midfield and he looks at the negatives, what's going on, where we are lacking. And this is where I think we should go. We should think more sensible. We should go for players that actually can come in and do a good job for the midfield. And also, one more point.
Sanderberg's
one more point, Nordin, before I let you speak.
I just want to tell them Sanderberg's average speed is 18.5 or something like that. That is incredible. He makes 18 sprints per 90. That is incredible.
18.5 sprints per 90 on average.
That is level.
This Premier League season for Fulham. Yes. Compare with Kobe Mainu, he averages, let's say, 10 sprints. Tielemans about 12 sprints. Thunderbird 18.5. The only one who's better that I know of is Baleba. He covers about 20 to 21 sprints per 90. So, someone who can recover, who can be the shield in front of our back four. And our back four is poor, to be honest. We have Maguire and Lisandro Martinez, and none of them have high pace. So again, we gotta look at this sensible. Nordin, please.
And just to come in as well, the thing as well, we're not going to be playing a high line next season. Obviously we've said that we're going to keep Maguire, so that's out of the book. So I mean, I think I've said Man United should be playing a high line for years, and sadly we just can't, because we just make the wrong decisions. We just make the wrong profiles when it comes to the centre backs, and I think the only players that can do it is probably maybe Delit Heaven. But obviously Delit's injured, so people are going to say Euro in Heaven, but that's just too inexperienced. Look, Jarvis, I think you're spot on, absolutely spot on when it comes to midfield, man. I'm all with you with Sanderberg ever since I seen when he dominated at Old Trafford, obviously on top of Norway, obviously against Brazil. It was madman. And look, people are going to say never judge a player at a World Cup, man, but I've watched Fulham a lot, man, and do you know what,
Yeah.
bro? He's just such a good footballer. He knows where to be in the pitch at the right moment at the right time. He's always
And
looking
he
around him.
ran the
I love
game in the second half at
Well,
Old
that's
Trafford.
exactly that's
He
what I
won the
said.
game against us.
Exactly, it was
And we
crazy.
only won because of Bruno's piece of brilliance and Sesko's goal.
It's crazy. And look, like I said to Nurden earlier on, Jarvis. Now that we've got two players now in Santos and Tielemans who are pretty much fighting for
Very
Kobe
good. Very
Mainu,
good.
Kobe
Yeah.
Mainu's position. We actually need two midfielders now instead of one. Now I know you're going to say the reality is we're going to be only getting one more midfielder in, which is a disgrace. But if you were to get me a Xander Berg and a Kone, yes, Kone has the injuries issues and all that stuff, but the thing is, if you have Kone and Xander Berg in that double pivot, you're talking two different profiles, two different, players that can complement each other, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are. That's what we've been missing. And I feel like if we bought Seko Kone and no, not Seko Kone, Manu Kone and Sanderberg, it's just a different level, man. And I think what also helps as well is I don't necessarily believe Baleba would be the right guy to shield our defense, because obviously, like you said, we've got Maguire, Martinez. They're not good at recovery pace. They're not good at all, like at times. And the fact that our full backs aren't really helping out our centre backs either, obviously, in Luke Shaw and Diego Dalot, man. I just think we seriously are in trouble, man. But as Nurden said always, all the time, we've misjudged the midfield for so many years. We need to be focusing heavily on this midfield, and then the next thing to focus on, people are going to say centre back. 100% I say the centre back, but we need to focus on the centre back and the full backs. People keep mentioning about the left wing and the striker and all this shit. I think it's our least concerns right now, because to build a team, you have to build a spine. To build a team, you actually have pacey fullbacks, and actually fullbacks that can get up and down the pitch. Right now, we've got a McDonald's guy in Luke Shaw, and we've got a Diego Della, who sometimes he's in Pluto at times, man, and Pluto doesn't exist, people on this fucking planet Earth, man. So I just think we're in real big trouble. And obviously, with Delip being out injured, with Maguire being literally a donkey off the ball, he's too fucking slow. Martinez being too slow. Heaven is the only player I actually have faith in. That's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. And I just think we really need to crack on. And Noana, you keep saying we need to be patient. We need to be chilling. The window's not over. But as Nurden said, in a few weeks' time, the season's going to start. And if Man United had done their business at the very start and said, Sanderberg, we want you. Sanderberg can announce the signing, and then Carrick can then say, right, Sanderberg, I know you're at the World Cup with Norway, and I know you're going through, bits and bops, like obviously with the tactics and stuff, what Norway want to do. But this is obviously, I'm not going to get much time with you, obviously, because Norway were that far in the World Cup. But this is my plan. And this is what I'm trying to say. If we buy Sanderberg in 2 or 3 weeks' time or 4 weeks' time, I'm telling you right now, Sanderberg's going to struggle at the start, because Sanderberg doesn't know what Carrick's plan is. Sanderberg doesn't know what Carrick's tactics are. And this is what I'm trying to say. I remember when we bought players like 2 or 3 weeks or a week before the window closed. It took them a few months to get going. It took them a few months to get going, and that's not smart business. You get your business done early. And like I said, Luana, you say you shouldn't be like, your signings shouldn't be all in order. It should be, because Man United have got rid of Casemiro. Casemiro is a very proper, like, he's a box to box, but he knows how to do the defensive work. Ineos should have been instantly on that profile and said, look, can we get Tonali? No, he's too expensive. Ellie Anderson, no, too expensive. Fernandez, no, too expensive. Okay, Sanderberg, Manu Kone. Let's see. They should have done that before line, but no, they don't, because they don't have a fucking plan. And that's what I've been saying to people for so many years. And that's why I always will bring back to this chant. And I said it to you, Jarvis, yesterday in Durden. I don't know whether you've seen the chat. But
I just think...
Ineos, you're the one. You still gaslight us all. 21's coming home again.
Look,
I deserve 20 likes. Go ahead.
Look.
I just know what, before you go, Luani, I'm gonna give you the mic, and we're all gonna mute. Zerg says here. So Thunderbird, who I rate from Fulham, relegated for Burnley is fine, but Tielemans from the Europa League winning Villa captain of Belgium is bad. No, we didn't say that. Where did you hear that? We said Tillemans, but we said off the ball, Tillemans doesn't offer you much. And in the most physically challenging league in world football, you need to have a plan off the ball. Coaching does it, tactics does only so much, but your physical output is needed. And if you're not doing it as a team, you need players who can hunt the ball down. You need to clean out the wax, bro, and listen to what people said. Go ahead, Luane. I'm going to move.
Yeah, so I just have a question for Jarvis when he was talking about recovery. Do you think recovery would have helped France in any way today? Because they have Saliba and Upamecano, who are very good with recovery pace. And throughout the game, we've seen them use their recovery pace. But the way Spain was playing, it looked like it wouldn't have made any difference today. Because we're talking about the same Spain team that have Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal. And they said, no, thanks, Nico, we don't need you. You can sit on the bench. Even to a certain extent, they're not using the directness of Nico Williams because of Lamine Yamal because they don't want to compromise their identity, which is we just overload the middle of, we just pass the ball. What I saw today is 11 players, footballers that are making sound decisions. Their pass selection was on point. Their positional discipline was on point. Their pressing was on points. And they play football properly the way it's supposed to be played. I don't think any recovery pace, I don't think any physicality would have made any difference today. That France physical was more, I will say, that France team was more physical. They were faster, they're stronger than the Spain team, but it didn't make any goal difference. When you're talking about recovery pace, there is a correlation. There is a correlation between turnover and recovery. When you turn over the ball, obviously that's when you need recovery pace. And like I said at the beginning, I don't think any manager.
I think we've lost Luane.
I think Luane is having a technical issues. I think his internet is moving like Manchester United.
Just to add on as well. Just to add on, I know what Luane was trying to hit there, but as Cameron said earlier on, and Nuruddin asked a really good question to Cameron: how did Arsenal win the league? And the Cameron's question was absolutely answer was phenomenal. It wasn't what they were doing on the ball, like with their possession and all this bullshit. It was what they were doing off the ball, and off the ball, their physicality was up to date. Sometimes Martinelli and Saka, even the wingers, they were on point, man. They were just going up and down the pitch. The fullbacks as well, obviously, and Timber and I keep forgetting the Italian fullback Calafiori. That's him. He was. They're just building a fucking team that's literally based. Yeah, obviously people can say whatever they want about Arsenal, like they're boring and stuff. Yeah, they could be, but in terms of their physical condition and obviously what they can do and cover the space around the pitch, it's second to none what they were doing. And look, that's why they're champions. And with obviously Man City, one of the reasons why Man City didn't win the league this season is because they thought that Rodri and that other player, what do you call him, Reinders? They thought Rodri and Reinders was going to be the missing piece in the puzzle in terms of their ground covered, and they were wrong. Reinders has struggled this season a lot, and look, that's not because Reinders is a bad player by any means. It's because Pep Guardiola's system just didn't really suit Reinders, and that's just unfortunate for Reinders and unfortunate for Pep. But like I said, Pep obviously got them to second place. Just proves how good Pep is as a coach. But everything you've said though, Jarvis, in terms of what we need, what's the final. Well, you say the missing piece in the puzzle, but I think we still need two midfielders. But like I said, the reason why Spain have won tonight is because, obviously you could say compare France's midfield and Spain's midfield in terms of physicality, in terms of their technicality, what they can do on the ball, off the ball. I just think it all comes down to partially tactics because Rodri.
But Ben, let me just answer because I think I get the gist of what Luane asked me about. You asked me about
can I just
the
say
recovery
this
pace of the midfield. Yeah.
Can I just say just come out 9 minutes ago?
Oh my god!
This has just come out 9 minutes ago. Big up to the chat, whoever told us.
Fabrizio Romano is an influencer. I don't trust him anyway.
Of course, he's an influencer, but we're just reporting the news, Jarvis. Just reporting.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Breaking. Eduardo Camavinga has been discussed internally as a Manchester United potential third midfield side. Right, I'll cap that. Somebody called Musa will be happy. Musa will be over. He loves this kid. Musa, word to Musa. Musa loves this kid. But
Noradin, this window, we know all this Fabrizio Romano, is Chris Wheeler, Luckhurst, Crook, Rob Dawson, all of them. All of them have been wrong. They know nothing.
Even Einstein.
No. Ornstein has been right. And Laurie Whitwell, through the Athletic, has been right.
Einstein said that Manchester United Fernandes is getting close, and he was wrong.
Yeah,
and he said about
even those have been the most accurate. I would say that's Ornstein and Whitwell. Most of them have been super wrong. And when it comes to Sander Berge, just to fill in, I would say it was the athletic reporting that Sander Berge is in contact with Man United. So I think it's real. I think we are looking for that type of profile. And for me, it's not telling me, because let's deep it. Guys, we were looking for a guy like Ruben Neves. And then we went to Bruno Guimaraes, and now we went to Tielemans. It's the same type of profile player. So you have to look at the profile and then move on and find similar profiles that's similar to the guys we are looking at. So if we are looking at Sander Berge, we might going for not just Sander Berge, but a profile like him. That's how I see it, how I interpret the transfer market. But I just want to say to Luani, when it comes to the recovery pace, you asked me a question about the recovery pace. First of all, it's even though it's a semi-final, it's the World Cup. It's international football. It's nowhere near the Premier League. The Premier League has moved. The pace has moved. I read somewhere that it's about 20% faster since 2020. So in 5 years, the pace has increased by 20%.
Jarvis, I didn't need to see the stats to know that. I watch Premier League football. I go to Old Trafford.
Everybody who watches the Premier League, being physical in the World Cup is something, but being agile, being able to move, being quick, having top pace, having recovery pace, it's so important for the Premier League. And a player like João Gomez, his top speed is 32.5 kilometers, and Sander Berge is 36.3. So imagine those 4 kilometers in a 40-meter dash between him and the striker. If you have to recover, you play with a high line, what are you doing? You're running as fast as you can. No stats can help you. It's about athleticism. So for me, I'm not signing players who don't have athleticism. I've seen enough of the Ericssons and the Casemiros and all of these dross players not having the athleticism and us having to cover for them. I need players who can stand on their own feet and do the thing when needed. That's why there's no doubt in my head that we need to sign Sander Berge, or at least a profile like him. Someone who has the athleticism, someone who has the recovery pace, someone who can actually sprint a 40-meter dash in 36 point something kilometers, not 32, not 33, not 34, but the 2 extra kilometers gives you the upper hand when you're up against the fastest, most paces strikers in the Premier League, because this is what we are up against. It's margins, guys. It's almost as good. It's margins. We want the best players.
Jarvis,
and for me, yeah,
I agree with what you're saying. What I'm saying is that we don't want to have the tendency to exaggerate that. There is a minimum requirement to be a defender or a striker in the Premier League. I'm pretty sure there are sprint drills that they do in training. If you cannot run sprint to a certain level, or if you cannot have a recovery pace to a certain level, you're not even going to be eligible to be a defender or a striker in the Premier League. The reason why we bring that up when it comes to our case, because when we look at somebody like Harry Maguire, for example, he is incredibly slow. So below average when it comes to that standard. The same reason Harry Maguire is not a good center back when you're trying to play a high line is the same exact reason Dan Burn is not a good center back when you play in a high line. But when you look at the average defenders in the Premier League, they all have recovery pace to a certain extent that you cannot break on them. It's not something that's extraordinary. After all, we are talking about situational football here. 90 minutes of football is not recovery pace all the time. 90 minutes of football, maybe you have that situation come in it once or twice or twice.
Yeah, but for you to be confident to have a high line, you need the players that you know will help you out if you lose the ball.
Right. Exactly.
And if you lose the ball. Now let's look at Spain today, right? Spain say, you know what? I'm playing a risk-adverse football. You want to ask me how Arsenal won the league? I'll tell you exactly why Arsenal won the league. Because they are the most risk-adverse team. They just don't turn the ball over. They don't beat themselves. And we come on this panel, we say they're boring. They are just risk-adverse. And it goes in the same thing. If you don't turn the ball over, you won't need to recover it as many times. Yes, they do have Gabriel Saliba. But every time you watch the game, Gabriel and Saliba are comfortable. They're smoking cigar because they don't turn the ball over. It's the same impression I have when I used to watch Liverpool with Van Dijk in his prime. Van Dijk and Konate is the same thing. They don't turn the ball over that much, so they don't have to meet their recovery pace. We're talking about it. The thing that bugs me is that we're talking about it is something that we have to have. No,
I disagree. I think the only reason why Gabriel and Saliba, obviously they're world-class defenders, but the only reason why they're so fucking good is because they've got a midfield that's protecting them so fucking well. Anytime the opposition,
Giovanni, I don't know how you don't see Declan Rice chasing down people, putting out fires everywhere. Anytime
the opposition,
I don't know how you missed that.
But anytime the opposition has the ball.
I don't understand why we're talking. I don't understand why we're talking about, because every time we talk about a team, we tend to bring out individuality. You can watch England play, and you can see Declan Rice chasing shadows. The reason why England is still in the tournament today is because Jude Bellingham is carrying England. It have nothing to do with Declan Rice, right?
No, it's not that. Declan Rice hasn't been the best midfielder. He's not fully fit. He's injured. The best midfielder they've had has been Elliot Anderson by an absolute mile.
Wow.
Elliot Anderson has been their most consistent player. What are we doing here? He's the one who's putting out fires like Declan Rice does for Arsenal. Listen, a team is made up of individual qualities bring under the umbrella of a tactic and a coach that is getting the best out of the team. What do you say, Jarvis?
By the way, I was just saying to this guy that he says that Burge is 33.8, so he's too slow too. But guys, I've been reading stats. I've been reading stats since I was like this year old, and you have to change from the World Cup to the Premier League and look at Sander Berge 3,000 something minutes on the pitch. Don't look at the Premier League, the World Cup. So if you go on SofaScore or Football Ball, whatever you go to, his stats it's 36.3. So there's no doubt about my stats, just to be clear. But so guys, he's extremely quick. He's 6'5", and
so good.
As I said, we don't need to sign him. Give me Sangare. I'll be happy with Sangare. We need someone. Even Manu Kone could actually do a job. We need someone for me to be comfortable us playing with a high line in a Carrick, because guys, you gotta realize next season most of the teams will know that Man United came from the the second half of the season with Carrick and to the end of it, we performed really well. But we sat back, we gave the initiative to the opposition, and we were really poor, so they let us. They let us set back. They let us counterattack. But next season, every home game against the Evertons, against the Brightons, against all of the teams, they will sit back, compact, low block, and try to counter us because they want to deny us space, because they know when we have space, we have a lot of strengths.
Players who can exploit.
I'll be honest with you. Manu Kone is my guy, right? But today he was hiding. He was hiding in plain sight.
You can't judge a player off one game.
No, I'm not judging. I like him as a player, but today he was hiding.
1 second. Yeah. I want to add to what Jarvis said, and then you can come back. And also, we were only planning for 1 game a week. Do you know when you're planning the video work, the tactical work?
Facts.
When you've got 3 days, or 4 days, or 5 days, it makes a huge difference. When you play in Champions League game, it's just about recovery, and then you kicking off at 12:30 on a Saturday. You play Champions League on a Wednesday, and you kick off at 12:50 on a Saturday. What are we doing here? You don't have time to prepare. The idea, Luwani, I'm just staggered. I swear to God, I'm just staggered. Like the way you think, you don't need ground coverage in the Premier League. The way that you think that Manchester United do not need midfielders who can cover the ground and who have got the stamina to be able to do it for 90 minutes. I'm outstanding by that. As much as you need the technical ability, you also need the ground coverage. You also need the legs to get around that football pitch. Tonight, Spain pressed the hell out of France. France were making mistakes. It wasn't just the pressing. The levels of France dropped significantly. And the confidence of Spain went higher when they looked. The game was in their hands. They knew exactly where their pressing triggers were. They knew exactly where to squeeze. They knew how to double back. Even
Rodri was immense. He was world class.
But Olmo was immense. You know how many times I have never seen a team take 3-4 chances, 4 times, 5 times. Their wingers made tactical fouls tonight. When was the last time you saw Lamine Yamal making tactical fouls? Or the other guy who was on the other side doing that? Forget about what Olmo and Luis were doing. They were taking each player to make a tactical foul to stop the flow of the France. What are we doing here?
I'm not denying.
It was superb. The way that to me, no, you are, Luwani. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, I'll tell you.
Doing, obfuscating, and you're basically telling us. You basically told me and Ben and everybody listening. You need ability. That's all.
That's not what I'm saying.
You could be the most. Listen to me. You can, if you want to be a technical ability, go and play in Spain. In Spain, they get the ball down. They hardly cross the ball. They hardly go slide and wide and cross the ball into the boxes like they do in England. They play intricate football. If you want pure technicality, you can go to Spain. Even in Spain, the best teams, the teams that finish the 5 highest in the league, have the highest pressing, the pressing stats in the league. You have to in modern football, if you cannot run, if you cannot press, if you cannot cover a space, you are going to get murdered in league football. I'm sorry.
Nuruddin, I agree with you.
Italy is a walking league, and even they do that, even though they give each other the ball. And
Nuruddin, please,
you weren't saying that.
Please, I agree with you. Let me elaborate. What I'm saying is that we are exaggerating it. I'm not saying that it's important. I'm saying that it's a prerequisite. When you're trying to defend Nuruddin, you have assignment. Okay? Defensive assignment. Assignment, Nuruddin.
Manchester United. Do you trust Manchester United? Do you trust Luke Shaw to play 3 games a week? No, you've seen him play 1 game a week, and now you and the majority of fans are gassing them up. And you're gassing Carrick up because Carrick and the coaching staff have not been challenged to go and plan 2 games, 3 games in a row. They have not. But carry on.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to defense, whether you pressing or whether you setting up in a certain manner, is all have to do with assignment. And when it comes to assignment, it does not matter. The quality of the individual player doesn't come into play. It's all about, are you able to do your job the way you were drilled to do it? It doesn't matter if you short, if you skinny, you still have a job to do. What I saw today when I watched Spain is a team that did not respect France. It's a team that came in that said, look, we are not going to change our identity. We are not going to change the way we play. We're going to split our center back. We're going to drop Rodri in that single pivot. We're going to leave Cucurella and Pedro Porro high up the pitch, and we put everybody else in the midfield. We are confident that we will not turn the ball over to you in order for you to exploit the space that's behind Cucurella and Pedro Porro. We trust our possession. We're not turning the ball. They did not respect the pace of France, and that has to do with their approach.
The thing is, you're completely wrong.
Can Manchester United and Michael Carrick do that next season?
No.
We don't know.
Can do that.
Exactly, we don't know because Michael Carrick has a vision.
Do we have the Luane? I'll ask you the question again.
Yeah.
What you just said, you just said, right? Why are certain players in world football going much more money than others? Because they have the quality. And what Jarvis described, they have the technical ability, tactical ability, and they have the speed of mind and speed of physicality. If you don't, you could have all the speed of mind, all the speed of technical ability. If you can't run, it means fuck all. You
need athleticism. Yeah, 100%.
Not every player is
we have
Jude
seen
Bellingham.
the Ericssons and
Not every player is
Casemiro's through
Jude
the years.
Bellingham. Not
We have
every
done with
player
them.
is Mamadou Onana. We don't have those profile everywhere. But what we have is the box standard, can play football to a good average level, can run and can win duel to a standard level. Not everybody is big, strong, run around like a giant. The whole idea is you have to be sound because it's a team game. It's not an individual game. If you're talking to me about rugby, I'll be like, yeah, fine. You have a point. You can give the ball to one guy and he can plow through everybody to the finish line. But you're talking play as a team. We want 11 footballers to make sound decisions when it comes to their pass selection. The rest is a prerequisite. If you cannot run a sprint to a certain level, if you cannot sustain 90 minutes of running on the pitch, they will not even let you be a professional footballer.
That's what we're talking about. 100%. I agree with you. And what you're saying right now makes 100% sense. And this is what I'm stating. We need players of that profile who are athletic enough to do this. We are done with the Ericssons. We are done with the Casemiros. We can't carry players who are not physically good enough to be able of being a part of this team, because we want to achieve. We want to be the best. We want to be Man United. We want to dominate games, and we want to be able to stand with the high line, not being afraid of if we lose the ball. Every time it will be a duel between Harry Maguire and a striker running behind, or we have to rely on Senny Lamens, standing 25, 30 yards up on this pitch to be the sweeper. It's not how I want to see Man United play. I need players who are good enough on this athleticism, on this physical attributes. So 100% Luane, I agree. But Ben, you were saying?
Yeah, Jarvis, just to come back, there's a few, obviously I've been listening for what everyone's had their takes on, but Jarvis, I remember you were mentioning, like, you would take Sangare, to be the final signing. For me, I think putting a heap of pressure on a young kid, especially to do the defensive work, is a bit too much for me. Yeah, obviously Sangare's a beautiful footballer, man. He's got so much potential, but if he had a Sander Berg alongside him as well, I think if you brought in Sangare and a Berg, I'm all for it, man. Like, I just think buying, I don't know how old he is, but I know he's very, very young, just an inexperienced player. It's just too much, man, to to lead the front line for Man United. I just think it's too much, man. But look, I think everyone's had their points regarding this. this situation right now. Like, you know, Luana, you kept mentioning about single pivot. You know, Spain single pivot. Spain do not play a single pivot. They don't play a single pivot. You know,
They do.
they don't.
They do.
Rodri.
Ruiz was beside him all the
They
game.
do.
They were
And
two.
They
the
do.
thing is, see, when France were trying to play it from the back, there was a few occasions where, I mean, you were saying Rodri was going to be the single pivot player, bro. There was times that Rodri was way up in the pitch. He was literally in the final third at times. Do you know why?
It's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. Ruiz was dropping down. Rodri
That's
and
it. Phil Jarvis.
almost dropping down all the time.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
it's a three.
It's hybrid. And Jarvis, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's what I'm trying to say to you, Luani. There's no such thing as a single pivot. This, that.
When I'm talking about single pivot, right, I'm talking about for the purpose only of progressing the ball. That's why, Jarvis, you say that Rodri was the metronome. That's what I mean by single pivot. Everything goes through him. They don't need, even if somebody drop right 5 yards to him, which he passed the ball, the decision to pass the ball to the guy who's 5 yards from him still come from him. So he, in that spectrum, the single pivot. But when they lose the ball, I don't mean that Rodri is alone there depending by himself. Everybody drop into shape. It's a different phase of the game.
It's not only him, Luani. It's not everything's going to play through him. It's playing through the fullbacks too. Like, see, Cucurella and Porro, they were all playing for him as well. It's balancing it all out. It's not all. That's why Spain's tactics are just out of this fucking world, because they don't only just play through the fucking midfield. Their fullbacks are super fucking high on the pitch. Like, that's what I'm trying to say to you. And like, you know, you say obviously about, you know, like Nurden comes back. Can Carrick do this? No, we can't. From what I've seen from Carrick this season with Kobe Minor and Casemiro, yes, they're very slow. They're not mobility and stuff, which isn't their strength of their game. 100% they're not. But I just don't think Carrick can do this. Why? Because Carrick believes in this double pivot. Carrick believes in this two-man midfield. Can get Man United over the line. He believes in this Sir Alex Ferguson 4-4-2 bollocks. You know, he believes that Bruno Fernandes or Mason Mount or whoever it is going to be the second striker that can drop down in the midfield, just like what Wayne Rooney did, just like what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did. You know, he believes that one of them players can drop down. I don't seriously, because I haven't seen it enough. Nurden can tell you he goes to them games every fucking time, and every time he comes on to this match reaction, he says, "Boys, we played well, but I worry about this midfield. This midfield is getting overrun left, right, and center." Like Jarvis says, you need someone when you're progressing the ball up from the pitch. You need someone in front of the defense that can shield the defense and protect that defense at all costs. Because Sander Berg, obviously, I mean, I can't believe that guy said he's too slow, man. I mean, if that doesn't say anything, like that just says it all about this fan base, bro. But honestly, we just need someone.
It's
like
just
Sander
one
Berg.
of these things. When on the eye, you know, if you're 6'5", 6'6", you know, you have long legs. You don't move quickly. You're not like you're Messi, moving like quick legs. So for us, you know, let's go with the stats when it comes to this. That's just my take.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. But the thing is, like, you know, say for example, if we were to get a Sander Berg in and a Sangarian, you know, that's all good, like happy days. But the thing is, we can't, you know, the thing is, guys, like, I can't believe I'm actually saying this. You know, if we do get the last, say we do get another two midfielders in, and they're the right profiles that we need, and Nurden and me and Jarvis and Luani and everyone in the chat's so happy, we've still got massive issues around the pitch in the fullbacks and in the centre backs. Like, we're all over the show, man. We can talk about the midfield all
At
the
least
time,
the engine room will be working. You know,
Yeah, I
a
mean, yeah,
midfield
You know,
is so important.
the reason personally why I think our midfield was so exposed, even during Carrick last year, I think, Jarvis, we were talking about it last year, Nuruddin. We said that we don't have a predictable pattern in which we progress the ball. So it's almost like we're still going through individuality, and we try to create our ISO freestyle kind of. When the ball goes to Cunha, he tried to do a madness, or the ball go to Ahmad, his isolation, or Bruno doing his thing, right? We don't have that predictable pattern. So when we go with individual players and trying to have them do their own thing, the margin for error is still very high. That's why when we lose the ball up the pitch, we get breakdown. to our midfield. And when you have Casemiro and Kobe Mino, you just trying to. So when I look at what Carrick is trying to do, maybe next year he's trying to mitigate the risk. I am not saying that the signing of Tielemans solve our problem. I say he addressed certain issue in terms of squad depth, leadership, and that's about it, right? But there are still other issues that need to be addressed, which is the physicality side of it. You guys are right. We need that too, because we need a ball carrier. I'm talking essentially from the perspective of progressing the ball. We need a ball carrier. We have passers. We need the ball carrier. Now, when it comes to defending, I'm pretty sure that if we can mitigate our risk in progressing the ball, having less mistake-prone player, rely more on pattern of play instead of individual players, we can solve half of that problem. Maybe the other half is having players that are defensively sound, because Lenny Yoro and Eden Evan have pace. They have their physical recovery pace, but they're not ready. We are still worried because we know we have Harry Maguire there, who cannot defend the wide areas, and we have Lisandro Martinez, who cannot also defend the wide areas. So if we pair them together, you add Luke Shaw on one side, you have Diego Dallo on the other side, we still have a defense that's susceptible to concede a lot of goals. That is our concern. But that doesn't mean that, because if we bring in Baleba, we don't solve that part of it, it's still going to be the same thing. We can bring in whoever we want. If Carrick doesn't find a way to coach a predictable pattern in progressing the ball, we will still have the same issue.
Guys, I just want to say before we go to Nuruddin, sorry for interrupting you, but guys, I have to be honest, when it comes to Baleba, I'm super worried because I think he's a limited player. He has his strong sides and he has his weak sides, and I don't want that. I don't want us to be accommodating Baleba when he's on the pitch to have players. Let's say we always have to play with Kobe Mainu when Baleba is on the pitch because he can't progress the ball. I can't take it. I don't want us to be as inefficient as a club. I want players who actually know how to handle the ball. And just a quick one. So over to you, Nuruddin. What's your thoughts on Baleba coming in?
Listen here.
Baleba's coming in, number one. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm going to bounce off here, people. Smash the likes, people. And subscribe. Pray free Palestine, everyone. You know the drill, bro. And hopefully, please do us a favor, Spain, win the World Cup so I can see Donald Trump lose it and Netanyahu, that freaking racist piece of shit, bro. Just literally, I just hope
Argentina to win.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. And look, because they hate Spain, Norden. They hate Spain. They just hate the Spanish. So look, I just hope and wish this Spain win. And look, I wish, even though I don't like supporting England, but I wish England the best of luck, man. But look. Welcome Tielemans to Man United, man. He's a good player, but
Ben, Ben, 1 second. We said that if we get to 200 likes, that you will sing Tuchel. You're the one. So come on, Ben.
Oh my god!
Come on, Ben. On the way out. Come on. The challenge is set. We reached 200 likes.
Okay. You said so.
We said we would reach 200 likes. Just quick one, just quickly. Tuchel. I'll sing it with you. Come on.
Tuchel, you're the one. You still turn us on. Football's coming home. Big up, guys. Big up. Smash the likes.
Big up, Ben. Big up, Ben.
You're a fantastic sport.
Always, bro. I'm always
big up, Ben.
And here, just always. Final word. See, these people, they're the reason why. Not because of Tielemans, not because of Santos. It's because it's an embarrassment to you guys out there who are the content creators and who are supporting Ineos, man, and these signings. You lot are an embarrassment to this club, bro. Embarrassment to the fan base. So hold that, you bastards. Big up, bro.
Big up,
guys.
Jarvis, obviously, Baleba for me, he's had an indifferent season. He's not had a good season. We don't know why. Like I said to you, I love to be a fly on the wall to the reasons why. I think he's got incredible abilities. I think his ball carrying is second to none. Yes, is he limited in certain aspects of his game? Yes. Are we sick of having players who are limited to a certain extent, whether with the ball or without the ball? Yes, we signed him. We signed him. We signed Tielemans. Tielemans is fantastic on the ball. He's a good player on the ball, off the ball, quite limited. Quite limited. Any space either side of him, see you later. Good night, Vienna.
The thing is, would you trust Tielemans and Martinez and Maguire as the rest defense when we go into a 3-2-5 attacking formation and we lose the ball? Let's say Cunha lose the ball high up the pitch.
No.
And they counter on us. You will see Tielemans, Maguire, and Martinez are the three guys tracking back. Those are the guys who are defending our goal in certain situations. For me, it's a big no. It's a big no. I can't see it being a good solution for us going forward.
By the way,
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Kobe Mainoo is more economical with the ball, like we all know. He's very economical with the ball. He doesn't like to give it away. But Tielemans is a high risk guy. We think we're bad with Bruno. Tielemans also risks it. He's also risk taker. I don't mind that if you've got
he's creative. He's creative.
Team,
yes.
Yeah. If you have a shape and a team and somebody who can make up for that deficiencies. Now you asked me about Baleba. So Baleba in his first season, he was doing phenomenal things, like breaking up. The highlight reel is there, Jarvis, in big games, going away to Anfield, games against United, big games. He was doing bits. Now, second season, he wanted to go to United. He threw his dummy out the pram. I think he was sulking. And then, obviously, Brighton do what they do. Tony Bloom is one of these dickhead owners, and he punishes players.
Yeah.
So that's what's happened. Now, Santos is the same. Santos we've signed, but he's got a lot of growing to do and a lot of improving to do and development to do. Now, what I understand what you're saying is that can we get now we've signed an experienced player and a young player who needs development. Can we go and risk it on another young guy who still needs development? And we know Manchester United is not stable enough. It's not stable enough for us to develop too many youngsters because we already got Kobe, who really we've not developed properly. Towards the end of the season, he looked well. I hope he can continue that. I hope that's a trend for him now to become that player, improving his physicality, improving his dueling, improving his coverage. But we're going to need more because, like I said, like I keep saying, I look at the two fullbacks, I look at the two centre backs, and I'm like, boy, oh boy, good night, Vienna.
You see, I don't think next year we'll be dealing with Maguire and Lisandro as centre back pairing. Carrick has the job full time now, and then with that full time appointment come a lot of responsibility and accountability. Next year, if he start those two, and we start having issues, he might have some answers to give. We don't know what's happening in training. We don't know what kind of drill he might be putting Lenny Euro and Eden Heaven through. We don't know. Come starting lineup next year, the first game, we see Lenny Euro and Eden Heaven as a pair. We just don't know. So yes, your concern is real, Jarvis. With those two pairing and Tielemans in front of them as to recovery, but there's still a lot. The transfer window is still open.
Obviously,
they can still bring in somebody with leg.
But as I said, that's why I think the reports from Ornstein that came out yesterday that we need someone with legs, someone who can accommodate the three guys we have in. It's so important, and that's why I think we are left with very few options when it comes to midfield. We are not looking at Adam Wharton, for example, and I don't even think we are looking at an Alex Scott. None of them can do this job. We need someone who are in the profile of Sander Berge. That's why I'm mentioning him all the time, but it's not me 100% set on him. I just want us to get like a big guy, 6'5", coming in, who has pace, who can win aerial duels and be not only the destroyer, not the Baleba type. That's why I say I think Baleba is limited, but he also needs to contribute when it comes to progressing the ball and being good on the ball. I don't want him. I don't want to sit on every United game and see him dropping down to receive the ball from the goalkeeper under pressure, being with my heart in my throat, being anxious. I want someone who's good on the ball, who's composed. And I don't know how many of them who's out there in the Premier League. If you have any options, please give it to me. Even could we go in for like a play like Frankie de Jong or someone in his stature?
How much do you think Sanderberg will cost? Sorry.
35 millions. 35 to 40
35?
millions.
Yeah, absolutely. If 35 millions we can pay for Sanderberg so we can get that extra on the progressive side of the ball, I think that's good value.
Yeah, and even if you know Carrick, you know, when we defend last season, when we were seeing out the game, he always dropped out to a back five. He always made a sub. He put on an extra centre back. But now we can just drop Sanderberg in between the two centre backs and just easily see out the game without doing any extra subs. So for me, I think from a tactical point of view, I think also that's a good thing. And aerial abilities. Don't forget, we are going up against Leeds. We are going up against Everton. We are going up against Crystal Palace. All of these teams with extreme aerial abilities. They will do whatever they can, you know, with Michael Keane or all of them, you know, coming at us trying to win aerial duels. So how are we going to replace Casemiro in all of this? Because that's the main task of the transfer window. Replace Casemiro, because Tielemans is not strong in the air. He wins 52% of his aerial duels. Same goes for Andre Santos, and you know Kobe Mainu is on 35 something. So we are extremely lacking when it comes to aerial duels, you know, and that's so important in the Premier League, because if you press high, they can't play out. Okay, what do? You play it long. So what's next? You either win that duel or you lose it. If you lose it, you're in trouble. If you win it, you are in control of the game. So how are we going to dominate opposition teams if you don't have that aerial dominance?
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Fair. You see, today, what I think France did wrong today, I think they just didn't have the right profile to execute the way they want to execute. They know Spain was going to stack the midfield. And every time I saw Tchouaméni dropping in the middle of that back three, I say, okay, now you make it a back three by dropping in the middle, which you want to push Koundé and the Aston Villa guy up the pitch more, so you can have your overload on one side. You have your fullback Koundé and Olise and Dembele creating the overload there, and then the other side you have Rabiot and the Aston Villa guy and Barcola. But the issue is that the Aston Villa fullback and Koundé are trash. They are trash. Their execution is poor. It's just one system versus the other, and the Spanish team was better. Execute theirs better than the French team. What the French were trying to do was not bad. You never trying to out football Spain in the middle of the pitch. So they divert their point of the attack to the wings, but it's just those players keep making bad decisions, and that's what cost them the game.
Yeah. And also, Dani Olmo was incredible today.
He was incredible.
Oyarzabal, even Yamin Yamal was good. So, you know, there was so many, and Buena on the left hand side. You know how he inverted into that midfield, helping out, always outnumbering the 2 against 3. You know, so we have one winger dropping in or whatever. You know, so it's so important. Or if not, Dani Olmo drop down, so you're 3 against 2. It's about dominating. Modern game is 100% about dominating the midfield, because everybody is so good when it comes to set plays, and that's playing out from defense. It's so important. You know, you can't win the games by pressing. You know, it's about winning the second balls in midfield. What happens when the ball comes into that field of area? So, yeah. 100%. You are right. You're right, Luani. You're right. And by the way, Nuruddin, you have been saying this for like 5 years. You have been on repeat. Games win and loss in the midfield. It's always about.
I've shown the graph. I lost the graph, but I showed it. Well, as soon as Manchester United started neglecting the midfield, Manchester United's decline has always gone with the midfield. Always gone. So the more we ignore the midfield, the more we decline. And nothing has changed. And I thought Ineos, Northern and Glazers this summer had the perfect opportunity to spend 200 million at least by signing 4 midfielders so we don't worry about the midfield whatsoever.
Let's be patient.
I don't think so. I don't think so. There's nothing for me to be patient about. I know what's coming. But anyway, listen, I want to say good night. Big up to
Good night, guys.
Big up to Luani. Appreciate you always coming on and giving us that.
Thank you. Big up.
Insight. Big up to Jarvis, tactical, technical stats. Big up to Bin for bringing the passion and the tactical and the technical as well. Big up to Cameron, the brother who's an Arsenal fan who objectively looks from the outside and tells us what's going on. Big up to everybody else who joined tonight. Big up to everybody who super chatted. Appreciate all the super chats. Big up to all you lot. Big up. I think I got all of the super chats. So yeah, big up people.
Yeah, just waffling, Blank, and Adewale and V33, the legends. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
big up, guys.
Big up people. We've been live for nearly 2.5 hours, but we've had a fantastic debate. I asked the chat before it was 54%. I asked, do you trust Manchester United injury and rehab department? 54% said no. 64% said yes. I don't know what's going on with the 60.
Another thing, quickly before we end the show, we have a game coming up tomorrow, England against Argentina. So quickly, what's your score prediction?
If England play like they played against Norway in the second half, Argentina will win comfortably. If England go at Argentina, go at the width, have a tactically sound game, if Tuchel makes the right substitutions at the right time, England have a chance of beating Argentina. But it has to be a full team performance. If they stand up Argentina, they give them the ball like they did to Norway, Messi will pick them up.
Okay.
But if England go for them, I think you can get at Argentina. I think Egypt's proved that. Cape Verde proved that. Argentina in the wide areas.
They have a dodgy
wide
defense.
areas.
Yeah.
They play very narrow. And I think in possession, England have to be as wide as they can. And out of possession, they have to match them and construct and block the middle as much as they can. Maybe man marking Messi could be. If not, just the nearest man picking him up. They cannot let him lift his head up and hit the runners.
Yeah, that's a good prediction, Nordin. But what's your score prediction? So give us a score prediction.
I think it could. I think it might be a score draw and he go to extra time and penalties. I've got that funny feeling.
I'll be honest with you. I rate Thomas Tuchel, but I think sometimes sometimes I think he's crazy because you are asking for Jude Bellingham to do too much. You didn't bring Adam Wharton, fine, but you have an X factor in Morgan Rogers. Why don't you just drop Morgan Rogers into a 10 so that at least you have the creativity of Morgan Rogers in the 10 and then plus the ability of Jude Bellingham to make late run in the box. The only thing Argentina have to worry about is neutralizing Jude Bellingham and the striker, Harry Kane.
Harry Kane, yeah.
That's it. If they done that, they have another final on their hand. If I was Tuchel, I'll start Morgan Rogers in the 10. I'll drop Jude Bellingham in an 8. And that's it.
So your score prediction is what, Luani?
I think Argentina goes to another final 2-0.
2-0. Okay.
Yeah, because regardless of what we say for Argentina, they know how to move the ball.
But you can I think you can expose them out on the whip. I really think that. I think they shown that, and I think Switzerland showed that. Egypt showed that they have certain weakness out wide. They don't have pace. They get the width because the fullbacks press really high. But you can get at them. I really think that. But Messi is Messi, Jarvis. He's had 100 touches, I think, in the last game or something like that. It's crazy.
Jarvis, who is that Patrick Berg team? He is good, man. I was impressed. He is so good.
Jarvis, second, to me, if you were on here 2 days before, telling us how half the team's been moved to another hotel because there's a sickness bug that's going around. Jarvis, do you know that there is a book being written, a journal investigation being done, that the CIA poisoned the England goalkeeper in 1970 because they wanted Brazil
Gordon
to
Banks.
the Brazil to win the World Cup. Brazil were good enough to win the World Cup anyway, but they were wanted because for the dictatorship of there, they needed it. Just like the dictatorship, so-called dictatorship, Argentina needs it. Apparently, this referee, Argentina always win. And I do think they want Argentina. You've seen Infantino when Argentina concede. He came out and said, I was suffering with the Argentinians. He said that after the Cape Verde game. We know what's going on. We know politically what's going on in Argentina. They've got a crook who's basically selling off all of the assets of the Argentinian country, all the assets, selling off to US vulture capitalists. And Netanyahu is best friends with him. Netanyahu literally came out and said, we want Argentina to win the World Cup. Trump wants Argentina to win the World Cup. So we know what happens. Yeah, Gordon Banks, apparently they put laxatives. And he still made that save against. They thought England were the only team that could stop.
It wouldn't surprise me, Nordin, because we have seen so much shit going down.
So what I'm just trying to say to you, that I find it really difficult. If you said to me, 2 or 3 other teams have had this flu bug, Jarvis, I'm most likely to believe it. Because I'm like, they must have stayed in the hotel teams, players who played against each other. But to only Norway to have 48 hours or 3-day bug, I find that very mysterious.
I find it very, very strange that most of the guys who's watching from England now, no offense to you guys, it's not about the decisions that were made in the Norway-England game. I'm just asking you guys to question what you're told, because most of you go by the narrative that FIFA said the touch cam in the ball, the sensor in the ball didn't give something that the ball touched the wire. And then, okay, we're done. Not even talking about it anymore. It's just how we
that's
see
a weird one.
That's everybody now in every debate says, well, we can't prove it because FIFA says you can't prove it. But think about it. There's about 50 cameras on the pitch, and suddenly they can't prove it because of a sensor. One sensor in one ball. That's enough evidence for you guys to accept that the ball didn't touch the wire, and because FIFA said so. Think about it. You are being played by the guys who are in charge because they don't want the hassle, because they know that they made a mistake. If they made a mistake, admit it. Okay, the ball touched the wire. We didn't see it. It was a mistake from the referee. It happened. That's
if anybody's played football, go and watch how the ball dropped.
Obviously.
Go and watch how the ball dropped.
It hits something.
You don't need... The ball drops in the most weirdest way. The goalkeeper takes a free kick. He hits. The ball goes down. Instead of the ball usually when the goalkeeper kicks it or defender, the ball goes like that. The ball just went up and to Elliot Anderson's feet One touch to Gordon, the ball goes out wide, but the defense wasn't set because the defense were already turned to go out. They already went out to go out. The ball then drops like that.
Yeah,
Like,
well, everything I ask is for you guys to open your eyes, see what's out there, and question everything. Don't accept what you're told by the narrative, because I don't think FIFA is a honest organization, and I don't think they want us to know the truth. That's how I feel it. And if let's say you lose against Argentina because a dodgy refereeing decision or anything, I want you to keep the same energy as you kept against Norway, because that's important for me. So, guys, just question it, because it doesn't matter for me. England won. That's, it's bygones. But keep the energy going, because it's a corrupt regime. There's no freedom in that. There's no democracy, nothing. It's about the guys who pay the most money who gets the highest roles in that corrupt regime. So don't trust them. They are crooks. They are crooks. Fucking crooks.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Big up. Let me just get this big super chat. Big up, guys. England will bring it home.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Let's see. We are 20. No, we're 17 likes away. 17 likes away from 15.2. Sorry, 17 subscribers away. But big up to everybody. Love and light. We've gone for nearly 3 hours. Big up. FIFA. Oh, FIFA are some of the most corrupt. They literally overturned because Trump called Infantino a red card. And you know what? He's come out tonight. He's come out with a statement. And Bellingham said, we knew that it was going to. He said he knew, he suspected that it was going to affect the rest of his team. The fact that he's because the footballers know you want to play on a fair playing field. I think US would not have lost like that if they didn't.
No.
If he didn't play, he should not have played. They would have at least gone into the game with just try to give it. Instead, they knew that an injustice thing, and when you've got the other team has a cause, a motivation to fight against injustice, it's the biggest thing ever. Big up Jarvis, big up Irfan.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow's games brings more controversies, to say it like that. Yeah.
100 million.
Messi gets a dodgy penalty, handballs,
exactly. Unless England take it away and beat them.
Unless they dominate completely, as Spain did today.
3-0. Or Argentina dominate completely, like 2-3-0. Either team dominates like they did today, then it's not about the referee. But if the game is tight, it goes to extra time. Be careful. This referee loves. He's a fan of Messi. People are saying already, this guy's a fan of Messi. He wants to ask Messi for his shirt at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Did you see the little video that's going around of the Indonesian kids?
No, I didn't see it.
I have to play it one more time. One more time for Jarvis. We have to play it one more time for Jarvis. I have to show you this, Jarvis. It's an absolute must. I need to show you this. I must show you this. It's for all those people. This is how we're going to close out tonight.
Oh, you have another super chat also, Nuruddin, by the way.
Yeah.
A big one from...
Yeah, 1 second. Ooh, let me just get... You wanna read that out, Jarvis, while I try to find a clip?
Yeah. Let's read out. It's from Tarek Shid coming in with a $20 super chat saying, "My brother, it doesn't matter who is winning tomorrow. The World Cup belongs to my Spanish brothers." Well, Spain impressed me tonight, and they played really well. I have to say, I'm impressed by Rodri and Ruiz in the midfield. Especially Ruiz, he's not a well-known player. And also the left winger, what's his name? The guy who plays for Atletico Madrid. So hard-working. So again, this team, I think they can go all the way if FIFA allows them. They are really good, really good. So yeah. But you never know when it comes to the final, Argentina or England. But Argentina, if the Spanish are up against Argentina, you never know when it comes to the bias of FIFA and Messi. They want him to be the greatest player of all time, and the guy who achieved better than Maradona, winning 2 World Cups and being the player of the tournament. So yeah. I'm not surprised, but I think Spain look really good, really good. Even Yabar, what's his name? The striker.
Yes.
Yeah,
Look very good. They pressed the listen. Jarvis, they were technically and tactically superior. Let's not mince our words.
Yes,
Spain
yes.
pressed the living day out of them, and France looked like they were drunk. What are we doing here, people? They look like they were drunk.
France looked unbeatable until they met Spain.
Exactly. It's
I'm
like
so impressed by Spain. Yeah.
And last time they can't beat Spain. Spain has beaten them 3 times now. They beat them in a nation.
And it was not because of Lamine Yamal. It's not like a individual performance. It's just like the team is so strong, so compact, so good on the ball. Yeah.
Jarvis, are you ready? I'm going to show you this. Let me show you this, Jarvis. This is one of the funniest videos I have ever seen. Let me just show you.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
Let me show you, Jarvis. Let me show you. All right. Let me play it now. I need to play it from here so you can see. So the replay in the Egypt game. That's Messi.
He goes to the little screen. No goal. No goal. The arrogance. Argentina shirt underneath.
He collapsed. Look, he shows the Argentina shirt. There it is. One of the best videos I've ever seen, people. One of the best videos I've ever seen.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Big up to Tarek. Big up to Tarek, man. Big up to Tarek. Big up. He's a big Liverpool fan, but we love him. He always comes to the super chat. Big up. Love. Listen, take care, people. Good night. Please smash a like on the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And people, please make sure you check out Tactical Devils. Yesterday's show. Go and check it out. Fascinating debate. You need to go and check it out. We look. The debate was mainly about the injury record and the injury concerns of Tillemans, and we went through everything. Cass was on there as well. I'm just gonna put it in here now. So we got it in here now. So just go to that link and you can see it.
Yeah.
2 hours debate.
Yeah. Go watch yesterday's show. Yeah, it was a good show. Nuruddin was on, and
I was on it for the last hour. So go and check it out. Tactical Devils. But yeah, I just want to say, make sure you follow Jarvis Bowley, BOLE77 on X. Make sure you follow Luwani, Manawan Luwani, 1979 on X, United Trucker. Make sure you follow Irfan Rainey if you want Irfan Rainey on politics on X. So Irfan Rainey on music. Make sure you follow him on Insta. If you want, if you're into gaming and you like Twitch and TikTok, make sure you follow Ben at Elmore20 on Twitch and TikTok. And if you want to hear from his football intakes, make sure you follow him on X, Elmore39. Big up, people. Love and light. Look after each other. And we'll see you soon. Take care. And big up Cameron as well for coming on. Good night. Free Palestine, free Lebanon, free Syria, free the Congo, free Sudan, free everywhere where people are oppressed in this
Tigray,
Tigray, Somaliland,
yeah.
Yemen, free them all. Free the people. F the colonizers, F the war machine. If you know, you know.
F them.
And F fucking FIFA. And most importantly, F Ineos and Legalizers. Goodbye.